books. Get off the ledge! Get off the ledge!
This country should have hell been going down the drain.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. Why should you want to know? Don't you mind about the future?
And now, live, unedited, unrehearsed, and unapologetic, brought to you by Duncan's Diamonds, your direct diamond importer. Straight off the ledge, it's JD and Smitty.
This is the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty on 96K Rock. Welcome to our extended 3-hour pre-election special. Phone numbers are 277-9600. And for the viewers watching on the Ledge Cam, 239-775-9600. Thanks to executive producer Tripod Billy. We are streaming live video at theledgeradioshow.com. You can also give us a like at facebook.com/The Ledge Radio Show. Special thanks to our in-studio producer, Sick Rick. And Smitty, man, what's up, buddy?
What's up, Southwest Florida? I'd first like to thank our title sponsor, Duncan Diamonds, for supporting the Ledge Radio Show. Kudos to them. We couldn't do it without them.
That's right.
I'll call them at 877-343-4883 or visit their website at duncansdiamonds.com for all your diamond and jewelry needs, or their two locations, which are on South Cleveland Avenue and Gulf Coast Town Center Mall.
Thanks, Smitty. We really always appreciate our sponsors.
Absolutely.
And, this today is our last show before the election.
It's an extends, you said?
Extends, yeah.
Extends.
Order some extends. Smitty needs some extends.
That's our extend show.
Today we've got a special caller. He's called us before.
Guy's got terrific credentials.
Yep. And we've been talking every week. We get into Libya a little bit after the after the murder of our ambassador Chris Stevens and the other three very important Americans that attempted to help him.
This guy gives a good perspective.
Yeah, and I want to welcome right now Joe Ruffini. He's a counterterrorism expert. Joe is on line one. Joe, you with us, buddy?
I am.
Hey, Joe, thanks for being with us this morning. I know you're busy.
He's in D.C.
Are you in D.C. today?
I am. Been in D.C. all week.
How's it looking up there after the storm? Did they take some major issues, or are they doing pretty good?
Actually, Maryland and D.C. went relatively unscathed. I mean, it's New Jersey and New York that caught the brunt. We were ready for the worst down here, and it just kind of passed us by.
Well, that's good. Any major power outages or anything in Maryland area?
Not in the Silver Spring, Montgomery County area. No, not at all. I mean, this thing literally just kind of did an end run and
kind of skirted
went
it
up and hit the people up north.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we appreciate you being on with us and taking the time.
Joe wanted to
tune in.
Joe wanted to mention something about his books. He was telling me. Tell me a little about your book, Joe, before we get started.
Oh well, about a week after Osama was terminated, I was contacted with a publisher that said, "Can you write a little book that explains to Americans what the ramifications of his death are, or lack thereof?" So it's an ebook. You can order it in hard copy. It's on Amazon, and basically it explains in the very short order what we can expect now that Osama bin Laden has been dead. Just from one expert's opinion. His death really didn't change that much other than set the organization back. And anytime an organization loses a great leader, it's going to be a setback.
Sure.
What's the name of the book, Joe?
What's that?
What's the name of the book, buddy?
It's called Osama bin Laden, His Death, and the Future of Al-Qaeda and the Islamist Jihad.
Very nice. Well, we'll have to check that out, Smitty.
Yeah, check it out on Amazon, right, Joe?
Yeah, you can either order it in electronic download or hard copy, either one, but it's on Amazon. Yeah.
So is this your third book then? Because you've got When Terror Comes to Main Street, you've got the Real Warriors Manual, and now you've got this one.
This will be my third serious book.
I gotcha.
Putting the Real Warriors Manual aside, and now I'm working on another one called Understanding the Arab Spring and the Rise of the Islamists to Power.
Speaking of that, JD and I, we often argue about the Benghazi situation over there, and give me your take on all that, because I mean, if you watch Fox News, it was all Obama.
Oh,
it was all Obama. It's all his fault. It's all his fault. And you listen to the other guys, they say it's not his fault.
It's going to go to the right. MSNBC is going to go to the left.
Right.
You know, we're off the air, right?
No, we're live, buddy.
Oh, we're live. Well, good. I'm glad I asked you that because I would have said something.
Yeah.
In Benghazi, you know, I mean, stuff happens. When you're a representative of the United States and you work for the State Department over there, in a dangerous situation, you know, anytime something like this happens in an election year, and the thing that really gripes me is, you know, we lost 4 very dedicated, brave Americans, and both sides of the political aisle tend to politicize this around an election year. You know, here's the bottom line, the way I look at it. First of all, at the presidential level, that is so far below him. You know, what I see somebody like President Obama may be saying to Hillary Clinton after a briefing on what's going on in Libya, he may turn to her and say something like, hey, Hillary, let's make sure we protect these people, make sure that, you know, we're on top of the security. And the president walks away. That's why he's got a Secretary of State and he's got a State Department. But there's so much still to be determined as to what happened there. But here's the way I boil it down, gentlemen. Even if they had Marines at that consulate, and I've talked to Marines, I've talked to my diplomatic connections, at that consulate in Benghazi, there might have been a handful of Marines stationed there. You know, at the most, maybe 8 or 10. And Marines are among our best warriors, and they would have fought to the last man and woman. I'm convinced of that. But an assault on 3 sides of that compound with up to 150 people taking part in the attack, even 7 or 8 Marines are not going to survive that when you're talking about mortars and heavy weapons. So we can talk about the what-ifs all day long. The bottom line is that was a planned attack. It was planned well ahead of time. It was well coordinated. We were in no way prepared for that at the consulate, and I would submit that at 95% of our consulates around the world, we wouldn't be prepared for an attack of 150 people with heavy weapons.
Hey, Joe.
So it's unfortunate, gents, but you know, it is what it is.
Hey, Joe, I've got a question in regards to that, and I can understand that maybe, you know, we didn't have enough folks at the consulate to do the protecting at the time that it physically started to occur. But why didn't we bring resources in right away as soon as the alarm was sounded? Why didn't they bring folks in? And I know last time you and I talked, and Smitty, we talked about it. You mentioned that basically that's the State Department, that Hillary Clinton would have to answer for that because, you know, they were left unprotected and the reinforcements were not sent in, you know, right when this thing occurred.
Well, you know, I mean, when you talk about reinforcements, though, you have to consider where are the reinforcements coming from, how long will it take to get there, what kind of force are you going to put together. I mean, I know we had some assets in Italy and, you know, and in some other places. I think what the issue here is, as I understand it, the current powers to be in Libya, for whatever reason, didn't want Marines stationed at the consulate. You know, as far as I'm concerned, you know, we're the United States of America, especially after all we did for the Libyan people. You know, sometimes you just got to put your foot down and say, well, we don't really care what you want. That's our consulate. These are dangerous times, and we're going to put Marines there. What are you going to do about it? Declare war against the United States? You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah, I do. I gotcha.
Politics, and I understand the State Department is all about politics, but we have a responsibility to, I think, provide the minimum, what I would call within standards of due care and diligence, kind of the reasonable man and woman test.
What if Joe,
minimum security, and for whatever reason, it wasn't done, and I think somebody should answer for that.
What about the and JD always says, well, the president lied. And I tell him that it's more to it. It goes a little bit deeper than that. You know, it's not just about, you know.
You referring to the 14 days that the administration linked it to an Islamic video?
Well, you were saying, you know, that he lied to the public and he should have said this and he should have said that.
He should have said the truth.
And I was telling him sometimes it's not that simple, man. It just doesn't.
No, you're
work
right.
that
It's
way.
politics. It's an election year, and he.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you gentlemen have heard the term the fog of war.
Yeah, but typically the fog of war, I would think, refers to the people on the ground.
The difficulty, you know, in this information age, and with so many Islamist groups, some are violent, some are. But here's the bottom line: in this day and age, especially with all the mistakes the United States has made in the region over the last several decades, you have to have attribution before retribution. And what I mean by that is, you better make damn sure you know who's to blame before you start going after somebody, because the way information travels today, and you can't keep any secrets, you go and punish the wrong people that actually didn't do it.
Sure.
What that's going to do is that's going to cause a backlash, and we have so many sources of intelligence, and there's so many agencies that actually collect and review and disseminate that in this day and age, it's very, very hard within the first couple of days to really ascertain what happened to beyond a reasonable doubt. Now, I know a lot of people think with all the money in our large intelligence infrastructure, we should be able to do that, but oftentimes it's not that easy. And when you look at a country that's in such turmoil, as is Libya, with all the different groups you have working there, some Islamists, some not, there's so many players in that region, and there's so many small groups that, believe me, guys, it's not something a lot of times that even our government can put together in a couple of days. And what's really frustrating for any president, and this regardless of who's on both sides of the aisle, is when he calls his people in and he says, "Come on, guys, what the hell happened out there?"
Right.
And they look at him and they say, "Well, Mr. President, we think it's this." And the president will say something like, "Well, what's your percent of certainty? 60%, 70%, 80%?" And if they're honest with him and they say, "Well, Mr. President, here's what we think went down, and we're 60% sure, 2 or 3 days after the event," if I'm the president, I'm going to look at him and say, "That's not good enough. Don't come to me with 60%. You come back to me when you're 80,
yeah,
80+%.
Yeah, so somewhere closer.
Do you see where I'm going with this?
Absolutely. Sure. Well, now one of my major contentions, I think, as well, is the latest story that's out that talked about Tyrone Woods. That he basically withstood a firefight that lasted somewhere around the time frame of 7 hours before he was killed by the terrorist. So we got 7 hours of a firefight and no reinforcements within 7 hours during the firefight. That to me, that is a breakdown in not only communication but
protection.
Protection, and second to that, the rear admiral in the area. He was sent back home. We got the commander from AFRICOM. He was sent back home. And the story that come out about it was because these guys didn't listen. They didn't follow the president's order. They wanted to send reinforcements in, and they were punished for attempting to save these Americans. So, do you know anything about that?
Here's where you and I agree. On point one, there should have been what we used to call a rapid reaction force somewhere within reasonable proximity, with a very quick deployment time to either the embassy or the consulate. And I agree with you there. I don't know where the breakdown was, whether it was on state, whether it was in AFRICOM, but I will agree with you that the fact that we couldn't have a rapid reaction force to get there in a couple of hours, from a military and political standpoint, I agree with you. It was inexcusable. Now let's talk about, these generals and admirals. I very much respect a general and admiral who would say, "You know what, American lives are on the line, and I'm going to go ahead and make this decision despite my orders." But the reality is, when they make that decision, they fully understand that their career is over.
Sure, yeah.
The way our democracy works is we have civilian leadership, and when a senior military official, although it may be his conscience and it may be what his heart tells him to do, they're smart enough to know when they make that decision, their career is over. And it's a conscious decision they make.
But Joe, would you believe, or would you think, being with your past, your extensive past in this type of warfare, that if that general or if that admiral made that decision, and they're the ones that are in the area, and they know the area, they know what the insurgents are like, and they value an American life above the rest of their career,
right?
Would you have respect for that or not? Or can you see where they're coming from?
Absolutely respect for that. Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, I had several commands when I was in the Army, and I often made decisions that if it didn't go right, would have met my career. I mean, that's what leadership is all about. It's
absolutely.
It's about your responsibility and what you feel in your mind and heart you have to do. But again, whenever I made those decisions, I fully accepted the fact
you knew it was coming.
I've been relieved of my command at any time. I very much respect any admiral or general that will do that. It's a very, very gutsy decision. But in the final analysis, war has always been an extension of politics. It always has been.
Absolutely.
And in the final analysis, it's political considerations that are going to determine everything from the rules of engagement on the battlefield to who gets deployed where. And, the bottom line is our generals are controlled by their civilian leaders, always have been, and hopefully always will be.
I agree. Well, something I wholeheartedly agree with you on is the fact that, we had some heroes over there that lost their lives, regardless of the outcome. Someone does need to pay the price for this. Someone needs to be held accountable for it. And you mentioned that earlier in our conversation. But
I doubt very much that anybody at the civilian level within the State Department is going to be held accountable for anything, because I guarantee you, right after the election, you'll see this issue kind of fade into the page 4, 5, and 6.
Regardless of who wins, right?
Yeah, I think regardless of who wins, everybody's trying to make political points on it. And the other thing we need to remember is our ambassador was very, very well liked, and in a lot of cases loved by the Libyan people. They were just as outraged at this attack, the great majority of Libyans, just as we Americans and the rest of the Western world. I mean, the Libyan people knew how hard our ambassador worked for them and fought for them, and everything he did for them during their fight to oust Muammar Gaddafi. And I would hate to think that any American at any moment ever thinks that the Libyan people supported this attack. I mean, because Americans need to know they absolutely did not by an overwhelming majority.
I know. Well, and something else before we go to break, and there were reports that when the ambassador was injured, because he wasn't just killed right away, he was injured first, that the Libyan people, the report I heard was that they're the ones that actually got him to a hospital trying to get him aid, but he later died at the hospital. So,
there's some controversy over that video that was posted on the internet and on YouTube.
I saw
Some people say they were pulling him out to take him to the hospital. Some people said they were pulling him out to make sure that he was dead.
Right.
But I agree with you. I think there were enough Libyans there. I'm fairly convinced at this point that they were trying to help him. And
well, you know these
guys. I wasn't there in the crowd, and these facts get to be a little bit difficult to put together.
Well, these groups a lot better than we do, and that's why we appreciate you coming on with us as always. We're coming up on a hard break, but Mr. Joe Ruffini, we always appreciate you coming on.
Back.
Maybe after the election, we'll get you back on and see if we can pick up where we left off, my friend.
Hey, always a pleasure, gentlemen. You got a great show. We always have a lively discussion, and anytime you guys invite me, by God, I'll be there.
Thanks, Joe. Take care, buddy.
Take care, bud.
You too. You guys stay safe.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right, folks, we'll be right back.
It's all new, and there's nothing else like it on the radio anywhere.
Nothing tops it. No, nothing in sports top that.
It's the Nick and Artie Show with Nick DiPaolo and Artie Lang.
They're going to try to make pole dancing part of the Olympics. No. Yeah.
It's our hilarious late-night look at sports and other guy stuff.
You get one job as a father, to keep your daughter off the pole. Keep your daughter off the pole.
Check out the Nick and Artie Show.
Weeknights from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. on 96 K-Rock.
I am Matt Miller. You are Matt Miller. We are Matt Miller. Vote for me November 6th. Or you can vote early at the Supervisor of Elections downtown Fort Myers, so we can make a difference and restore fiscal responsibility and economic development to our area. I am a believer. I am your neighbor. I am you. I am Matt Miller, a fair and responsible choice.
Political party advertisement paid for and approved by Matt Miller, Independence Party, for Lee County Commissioner.
When it comes to landscaping, farming, or just cutting the grass, no one knows more than Matt Miller Tractor. They offer a huge selection of tractors and mowers for all your needs. Whether it's large commercial development or a small family project, they are your one-stop shop. Matt Miller Tractor is dedicated to providing their customers with the top-of-the-line products and services, all under one roof. Matt Miller takes great pride in his customer service, bringing top brands to you and offering best of industry warranties on all product lines. If you're looking for that one-of-a-kind make or model, they have all the top names: Snapper, Kohler, King Cutter, Briggs & Stratton, and more. Sale, service, repair, and maintenance for 20 years. Once you experience their down-home approach to business, you'll see why Matt Miller Tractor is second to none. They treat each customer like a neighbor, because that's what you are. Call Matt Miller Tractor at 239-693-0305. That's 239-693-0305. Or stop by the store at 7261 West State Road 80.
She thinks my tractor's sexy. Integrity, leadership. Cecil Pendergrass is a strong leader who will protect and serve Lee County citizens. Cecil is an experienced leader who will cut costs, work with business leaders to promote growth, and protect our community and environment. Vote for a real leader, Cecil Pendergrass, endorsed by the News Press and Naples Daily News. As a community leader, Cecil identified problems, found solutions, and made Lee County a better place to live. As a member of the commission, Cecil will build consensus and bring new jobs to Lee County.
I'm Cecil Pendergrass, and I approve this message.
I would like to ask you a question. If you were involved in an accident or had a dispute with an insurance company, would you want to hire a lawyer who had a reputation for never going to trial or who had never been to trial ever, and the insurance adjuster or the lawyer on the other side knew that, and they were going to be able to settle with you for pennies on the dollar? Of course not. Yet it happens every day. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Before you hire your lawyer, do your research. Make the lawyer show you all the trials they've had in the last 5 years and the results. At Morgan & Morgan, we look forward to you visiting our website, forthepeople.com, and asking us to show you our trial results and asking us the tough questions. You only have one day in court. Call 1-800-MORGAN-LAW. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Offices, Fort Myers and Naples.
Today we're asking people to name their one favorite meal for one from Stouffer's.
One favorite? Stouffer's lasagna. But how about the barbecue chicken?
Grilled white meat chicken coated with a sweet and tangy sauce with a side of cheesy potatoes topped with crisp bacon.
Yes.
So that's your one Stouffer's favorite.
Oh, but I also like Stouffer's meatloaf.
Classic meatloaf with a rich tomato glaze, smothered in a savory gravy with a tasty side of... Hey, where are you going?
You kidding? The store.
Stock up on all your favorite Stouffer's meals for one today.
If you want to work until you drop, reduce your standard of living in retirement, or lose more of your hard-earned money in the stock market, then just ignore me. But if you'd like to generate a steady, predictable income, I'm talking real wealth and financial security for as long as you live, then listen to this. A free report is now available that reveals the money-making secrets Wall Street and the banks don't want you to know. It reveals how you can get guaranteed growth, safety, and wealth-building power without risking your money in the Wall Street casino. To get your free special report, visit bankonyourself.com. That's bankonyourself.com.
Rock Solid wants you to be our customer. Rock Solid Countertops and More is your supermarket for countertops, flooring, and cabinets. And right now, for a limited time, our suppliers are offering us outrageous deals, and we want to pass the savings on to you. So come find huge granite savings on a huge selection of countertops, with one-stop shopping on granite, marble, and quartz, plus flooring and cabinet fabrication. Complete granite kitchens from $9.99 installed. All Rock Solid products offer affordable quality for life. Rock Solid will not be undersold. Bring us your best offer and we will beat it. Hurry in now. We want you to save because Rock Solid knows you work hard for the money. Off Airport Pulling on JNC Boulevard in Naples. When coming to see us, look for the Superman Sign Guy. Call 596-7676. 596-7676. Or visit HugeGraniteSale.com. Rock Solid Countertops and more. It's really big.
Talking our hometown, our state, and the state of our country. Now back to the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty on 96 K-Rock. Talk that rocks.
Welcome back. Phone numbers are 239-277-9600 or 775-9600. You can check out our live stream at theledgeradioshow.com. You can also find us at facebook.com/The Ledge Radio Show. Smitty, we got a guest in the studio with us this morning. We've got Mr. Matt Miller running for Lee County Commission, District 5.
Going against Mr. Frank Mann.
Yeah, Matt, we appreciate you being in, buddy.
I appreciate you having me. Thanks.
Now, you know, we've had Frank Mann on early on in the election cycle before the primary. We had Sonny Haas on. Those two faced off in a primary battle, and Frank Mann did pull out the win in that one. So now he's up against you, and you're running in the Independence Party.
Yes.
Are there any other candidates listed on the ballot in your district?
No, it's just me and Frank.
Just you and Frank, okay. And, Matt Miller, Smitty and I have known Matt probably since March. We met him on a
Red Sox.
At a Red Sox Yankees game, and, really nice guy, had a lot of good things to say about Lee County. Matt, you're a business owner.
Yeah.
You own Matt Miller Tractor, But you've got a couple other things too, don't you? Have a car service as well?
Yeah, we have Matt Miller Tractors, we have M&M Farms, we have Miller's Lawn Service, DBI Limousine Company.
Wow.
We're
so
diversified.
you've done well for yourself. Now, did Obama build that for you?
No, that's all me for the last 20 years.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty positive about
That's
that.
odd.
He does that all by himself. Did you just hear him? He said he does it all by himself.
He built it.
He drives the truck. He drives the
Well, we know
tractor.
for a fact
he drives the
car.
limousine.
We've
He does
been
it all.
We've been in the limo
That
when he was
man
driving
is
it.
freaking Superman.
So, well, I didn't see Obama driving the limo. He was driving it.
I'm sure Obama,
Matt Miller was driving the limo.
Obama could drive a limo now, all right?
We'll see. All right, so
he rides it.
So we're in District 5, which is basically what, Lehigh, Alva,
the Shores,
and the Shores. That area, like Riverdale too.
Yep, Riverdale.
Okay,
from 75 out to the.
Okay, but it's a countywide vote, right? So you're going to be on the entire county ballot, Lee County. So even folks in Cape Coral, they can vote for Matt Miller.
Absolutely.
I got to give him credit. He's going after Frank Mann. It's not an easy task. Frank's is well known.
Well, his family's been here a long time, but Matt's been here a long time too. And you know, we were talking off the air. One of the things that I would like to see changed is some of the impact fee issues with Lee County, because you know I heard this the other day that you know when you went to start your business or to build your business or buy your property or whatever. For Matt Miller Tractor, you looked in Lee County because that's where you live, and you wanted to put your business there, and the impact fees were $250,000, and you said, well, shoot, let me check around and just make sure that's normal. And you looked at Hendry County, right over the line, I mean, within a few miles, and how much did it cost you to open up there?
$250. Yeah,
so
they wanted my business.
So let me get this straight. You could either open up in Lee County, and it would cost you $250,000 in impact fees and maybe other fees associated.
Yeah, there's other fees there.
And then Hendry County, $250.
Yep. 1 mile over the line, yeah.
Wasn't a tough decision, was it?
No, and I'm a small business, so it was pretty easy for me to
So as a business owner then, and just like me, we're going to look for a county or a city or a state that makes it inviting for a business to come into them. And right now, if you were to judge Lee County versus Hendry County when it comes to fees and taxes and all that stuff, Hendry County was much more inviting.
Absolutely,
because it wouldn't bankrupt you to start the business.
Absolutely, yeah. We expanded is what we did. We've been in business for 20 years. Okay. We started once I got out of the Air Force. I was over there, Desert Shield, Desert Storm. I came down here. I'm a Florida native. I was born in Fort Lauderdale. And once I came down here, I opened up a lawn service. So we expanded into a tractor service back in 2006. And it wasn't just impact fees. It was engineering and permitting. And it was 6 months to a year to actually open the doors. Nothing was...
Zoning, all that stuff.
Zoning, yeah.
Just basically going through the whole building design process, architectural stuff. But basically the count... And when I'm going to say the term impact, not to reference impact fees... But when it came to the impact of Lee County, dealing with Lee County on a business level, it would cost you $250,000 versus literally $250 for Hendry County.
Absolutely.
So clearly Hendry County wanted your business much more than Lee County did.
They did. They wanted our business. Well, everybody should. I mean, you know, the economy's bad. You know, there's 50,000 people unemployed. They need to work out for their small businesses and help them, not hurt them. You know?
Well, we can appreciate that. I think I would have made the same decision. You know, even if it meant going to Hendry County. Nothing else to me. That's a fight on principle. You know, why would I choose Lee County if I'm going to face an uphill battle to even expand like you did or start a business when you can easily go 1 mile past the border, you know, past the county line, and it's way cheaper.
Logistically, you're right. It does make sense to go that extra mile, so to speak, to get over on the other side of the fence. But when you look at the whole county as far as population goes, you know, down here is where everybody lives. I mean, they don't really live out there that much. You know, this is the population here. This is the city. So you want to play with the big boys, you play in the city, you got to pay up.
Well, this is true, and I didn't want to play with the big boys, so I'll stay small and stay in Hendry County. We're still based out of Lee County. Our lawn service, our trees, our site work, everything's done out of Lee County. Just our tractor store is based
because that's where the cost was. Is that building, that land to be able to get zoning and all that stuff done for that particular business. So, you know, that's...
God knows there's a lot of people cutting grass nowadays. Holy moly. I talked to a good old boy the other day, and I was at the gas station, and he has lawn service, and he said that as he grew up, he said he started, young, started grass service, cutting grass, and he's doing pretty good now. He says what's funny is now when he goes to drop his boat into the river and go fishing, all his other buddies that were in school with it, they are doctors, they have the same boat. He said here I am having a little small business. I've had it for 25, 30 years, cutting grass and landscaping. He says I'm doing just as good as these guys are, and they're doctors.
Well, it's funny because most people do start out literally cutting grass, but then they get bigger and bigger, pick up more and more accounts. Before you know it, they're doing full-scale landscaping. They're installing trees. Sure. They're doing all the flowers. They're taking care of Bonita Bay.
They're crazy about the landscaping here. It's nuts.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think you need that much. I think it'll just grow. So.
Well, if you look at the plants in front of my house, they don't just grow. You actually have to put water on them.
Yeah, mine will grow.
Well, weeds do grow.
I got a tree growing out of a rock in front of my house.
Well, Matt, what's some of the biggest issues that you think, other than this, that Lee County faces? Because there's got to be a bunch.
3 days, man, to the vote.
That's it.
So what do you got for us for
Give
3
us your
days?
sales pitch, man.
Give us it all.
Well, we need to help the small businesses, and we need to get people back to work. We need to downsize on the regulations a little bit. Somebody wants to go in there and start a small business and employ people. They shouldn't have a hard time doing it. And I've opened up a few different businesses in Lee County, and it was always hard, So that's why I moved my one business to Hendrick County, and impact fees is a big issue. I'm a strong believer in private property rights. They tax us on our property, which I don't, I'm strongly against that. So we need to diversify that a little bit and get into, getting our rights back, getting us back to work. Is
there one big difference between you and Frank Mann? You would say this is the main thing between me and Frank. This is what I see the big difference between me and Frank.
Well, Frank's been in politics for 38 years. I don't plan on being in I'm a strong believer in terms. He likes it the way it is.
So he actually said he'd put it on the ballot. He said he would let the voters vote for it. When I asked him,
I think what he means by that is he's not going to actually put something on the ballot. He's saying the voters will decide when your term is up. Meaning they can elect you 400 times.
That is the ballot.
Yeah, that is the ballot.
Well, again, I think we need to go to terms.
Right.
The president's 2 terms. I think the county commissioners need to be termed too.
Well, Ray Judah was termed.
Yeah,
24 years later.
24 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
We need a change. We need new blood. We need common sense. We need business sense. We need people in there not out to have an agenda, their agenda. We need people in there to look out for all the people in Lee County, not just special.
Do you think some of the members on that? Well, I don't want to pinpoint anybody, but
go ahead.
Would you see that would you say that maybe there's been kind of the good old boy network still alive and well in Lee County?
Absolutely. If I got paid $1 every time I heard that when they asked me who I was running against, I could have a lot more advertising than I do now. So.
Talk about the girl that just got fired or quit. What's her name again out there?
Karen Haas.
And she got paid, apparently, I'm hearing.
That was a big issue. That was, we had Lee County Sheriff Mike Scott on a couple weeks ago, and we asked him about MedStar just because he would probably know something about it more than we do. And with you running for county commission, they just, I guess they came to terms on getting rid of Karen Haas, the county manager, who'd been a county employee, regular paid employee from what I understand, 25 years. But it was actually Frank Mann, and I heard him in a interview on the television that he actually is the one that tapped her for this position. But now she's been let go due to this MedStar scandal.
And get paid.
And not only did she get paid, now she's been a county manager for, what did you say?
A couple years.
Couple years?
2 years on a 4-year contract.
And what did they agree to? How much money are they going to pay her?
I think it comes close to about $250,000 for the next year.
Sweet.
So she gets a $250,000 severance package, probably includes maybe some kind of medical, I don't know.
Yeah, medical.
When she was a county manager for a couple of years.
2 years.
She was terminated for basically, I would say, malfeasance because of MedStar, maybe some other things. And yet we got to pay her $250,000 of county money.
I want that job.
No doubt. I could screw up quicker than that. I mean, if I was county manager, I could probably be fired in a few days. I'll just take the rest of the year's payment.
A couple months or something, and I'm gone.
At the most. I could probably get sexual harassment, everything.
They would get you for sexual harassment. They also get you for fishing on the corner.
Accepting bribes. Fishing in the gateway.
Drinking during the job.
Is that wrong? Well, had I known those issues would have been bad, I would not have done this
That's right.
in front of people. So Frank Mann is the one that gave her the go ahead and said, hey, we should get this lady in this position. And now she's been let go, and now they've also come up with this huge severance package. What do you think about that?
Yeah. Well, Frank Mann was one of the ones that wanted to hire, and he's actually the one that called for her resignation. And a week later, she resigned. But if somebody does something wrong in my business, usually you don't pay them. But my opinion,
in the private sector, if someone does something wrong, you don't pay them.
Yeah. But I think
you still don't pay them $250,000. You might have given them a little severance month salary and say goodbye, but not $250,000.
But there's other issues out there too. Karen, she's in charge of 2,500 employees, so she doesn't know everything that's going on.
Well, and I know, like we were talking, she didn't do all the billing herself. She doesn't do the billing of the MedStar program. So
a couple other people had to resign, and there's probably a couple more that need to resign too, to make things right.
Sure.
But
we ain't done yet.
Yeah, there's a few more that got to go, in my opinion. But again, they're addressing that issue now, and if I'm in there, I'm going to address it. But there's still issues there.
Anybody you like to name?
No, I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave that one.
Are you going to vote today?
No, I actually voted last week.
How long was your wait?
Well, I got there at 6 o'clock in the morning, Sunday morning. So
waiting for the 7 o'clock open.
Yeah, waiting for the 7 o'clock, and there was about 20 people in front of me. So it wasn't that bad.
I actually was told downtown was the place to vote.
That's where I voted.
That's what I was told.
Yeah.
Go downtown.
So early voting, you don't have to go to your specific precinct.
There's 5 out there.
Okay.
There's 5 that you can vote at now, and it's from 7 to 7.
So today's the last day for early voting. So get out there. If you don't want to wait in line on Tuesday, you don't want to miss work or whatever, do it today.
Go downtown or across from Bell Tower.
You got the one in Lehigh by the high school there on Gunnery Road at the library.
You got the Bonita. You got Bell Tower, and you got Cape Coral and downtown.
Right.
Matt, where can folks go to learn a little bit more about you on the internet?
If they go to mattmillerforleecounty.org or IamMattMiller.com, you can find out about me.
And I've seen I Am Matt Miller cars all over town, and so your name is getting out there.
You were throwing rocks at him? What?
No, not at all. No, not at all. I think that Matt's he's got a lot of good things to say and a lot of good things that we can accomplish in Lee County. And there are some folks that probably need to retire from the county commission, and I won't name any names.
Yeah, I'm for term limits too.
Me too. So Matt, we're coming up on a hard break, but we really appreciate you coming in the studio with us. You're always welcome to stop in.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Appreciate you having me.
You got it, buddy. We'll continue to check on this whole election cycle. Hopefully Tuesday we'll hear some good news, huh?
Great. I appreciate you guys having me. Thanks.
All right, folks. We'll be right back.
Zito and Garrett.
I've got some really famous best friends. You'll know this person.
Do they know me?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm sure he's not too happy about knowing you, but...
Hello?
Hey, Stan.
Hey, Zito.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, pal.
Hey, Stan, Zito just made the statement that you may not be happy about knowing me.
Who's this?
Never mind.
Zito and Garrett on 96 K-Rock.
Hi, I'm Matt Miller. Would you like to help to restore the American dream, own a home, and be able to provide for your family? Then vote for me so we can make a difference. Restore our economic future. Vote Matt Miller, November 6th. Let's take back our country. I am Matt Miller, a fair and responsible choice.
Political party advertisement paid for and approved by Matt Miller, Independence Party, for Lee County Commissioner.
Southwest Florida knows that Duncan's Diamonds has the best prices, but it's their quality, selection, and excellent customer service that keeps customers coming back year after year. And Duncan's Diamonds customers have great things to say.
Their sales team is extremely helpful and knowledgeable.
I've shopped at other jewelry stores, and there's no place like Duncan's Diamonds. And I tell all my friends to come here every chance I get.
At Duncan's Diamonds, I found everything I was looking for. Great designers. I was awfully impressed with their Hearts on Fire diamonds and jewelry. They're really amazing.
The customer service is excellent. You're free to take your time and browse without being hassled, and all your questions are answered.
I've been to every chain jewelry store, department store, and independently owned stores. None of them beat Duncan's Diamonds prices. They are the best.
I had some jewelry to sell, and by far, Duncan's Diamonds paid me the most cash and paid on the spot.
Duncan's Diamonds puts your mind at ease. Best quality at the best price.
Discover Duncan's Diamonds, Fort Myers on US 41, and in the Gulf Coast Town Center, where you'll find the largest selection at the best prices in Southwest Florida.
Let me tell you something right now, Kara.
Kia credit.
Oh, my God. I know you get excited every time you see that.
HugeKiaCredit.com,
You know,
Caroline.
sometimes I log in just to browse Huge Kia Credit because it's the
Caroline.
web of
like to get
happiness,
excited,
and it makes me happy to log on to HugeKiaCredit.com.
Nice.
And it's so simple. I mean, it's so very simple. You can just log on, and you click on the Cape Coral location at the bottom of the screen, and there you have all of the financing options available to you at your fingertips. You can even apply for pre-approval before you go into Fusillo Kia on Pine Island Road. It's so simple.
I'll tell you something, it's unbelievable
so simple
too, Caroline.
and wonderful
I work at the bank
and
myself.
happy.
You know, you got me working the whole damn month, but that's okay. I don't mind doing that. Yep. Caroline, yep, that's you. Always got me working. Always spending cash.
Yep, well, somebody's got to bring it in.
HugeKiaCredit.com is what, Caroline?
It's huge.
Huge, Caroline, huge.
ZOOMTAN. I was tan last summer, now I'm pale again. I need a little bit of help to be ready for the beach soon. Tan puts some within my reach. Brown as a biscuit for $9.99. ZoomTan.com for a limited time. $9.99.
Zoomtan has 25 locations throughout Florida. Go to Zoomtan.com for a location near you and for a free spray tan coupon. That's Zoomtan.com. Why be pale and pasty when you can be tan and tasty?
At Duncan's Diamonds, we offer diamonds at or below internet pricing, and we're able to offer select diamonds at wholesale prices. Hi, my name is Amanda, and this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I will be conducting an amazing event at Duncan's Diamonds, providing free evaluations and paying cash for your diamonds, antiques, silver, and gold items. In high demand are platinum, gold, and silver jewelry, diamonds, gold coins, 1964 and earlier silver coins, bullion, sterling silver flatware, and pocket watches. Don't have any gold or silver? I will also be purchasing war relics, vintage guitars, foreign coins, and paper currency. Folks, the prices for gold and silver are climbing once more. Now is the time to cash in your old gold and silver items. Don't wait until the market drops again and your items lose precious value. No one is offering higher prices than Duncan's Diamonds, up to 30% more this Friday and Saturday until 8 and Sunday 12 to 6.
Duncan's Diamonds in the Gulf Coast Town Center.
Do you have dark circles or puffy eyes? Every listener who calls now will learn how to get a free jar of Lumitone, the cream that fades dark circles from view in seconds. And Lumitone is great for puffiness, bags, and fine lines by the eyes. You only pay shipping and handling. Call us now for details on this Lumitone free offer. Just call 1-800-625-5535. That's 1-800-625-5535. Call 1-800-625-5535.
Let's get back to work, please. So, go ahead.
Now back to the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty on 96 K-Rock. Talk that rocks.
Welcome back. Phone numbers are 239-277-9600 or 775-9600. Check out our live stream at theledgeradioshow.com. You can also find us at facebook.com/The Ledge Radio Show. And, if you go to the website, you can email Smitty or I. Our email links are in there on the contact page. So send us an email if you got something that, you don't want to come on the air.
I'll read it online, man.
If you want Smitty to read it on the air, then tell him. Otherwise, because he'll do it anyway, because he don't have any couth.
Yeah, right.
But anyway, Smitty, I know you wanted to cover some of the Hurricane Sandy stuff.
Yeah, everybody knows we were talking a little bit about the storm up in D.C. and they said it scooted by and it went all the way up.
But your sister lives up that
way. She lives up in D.C. area, but now I saw yesterday more pictures and more pictures. And
it's bad, man.
It is so
devastating. It looks like Florida after a storm.
It looks like a tsunami hit. I mean, literally, there's stuff that's just floating around. They got boats everywhere.
Well, their buildings up there are not rated for hurricane. They don't have the same hurricane codes that we do.
They don't have hurricane codes, and I think they got caught off guard.
I think their homes are designed to hold weight on the roof, like for snow, whereas our homes are designed for left and right, so it can blow left or right.
Let me play a little clip for you. This is your boy Christy talking about the help that he got.
Whenever you're ready.
Sick Rick's working on it, man.
Well,
here it comes.
We've been working through the night. Governor, give us the latest on the situation we've seen up in Bergen County. A levee breaking, up to 1,000 people need to be rescued.
Well, we're in the midst of doing those rescues. So let me be clear, George. It was not a dam or a levee. It was just a berm. The tidal surge that came up the Raritan Bay and Newark Bay caused that to overflow the berm. But obviously, we have lots of people who are waiting to be rescued. That rescue has started during the night. A number of people have already been rescued.
What's your biggest concern across the state right now?
Well, George, it's hard to tell because we still haven't had daylight to assess all the damage. We obviously have a battered Jersey Shore. We have Newark and Jersey City without power, at least in large parts of both of those cities, because of flooding at the substations around the Newark Bay area. We have 2.4 million people without power across the state. Wow. This is a major disaster. And so what we're trying to do is first save as many lives as is possible to save with our urban search and rescue teams, both on the shore.
What was that, Christy, eating some chips?
County, and then we'll start to assess the damage, try to get crews out there as quickly as we can to start to restore power and clear the roads. We have over 200 state roads.
You can eat
closed.
now.
He's crinkling his bag of chips,
Twinkies.
We've also seen
Cheetos.
devastating images from Atlantic City, the boardwalk facing so much damage.
George, it's incredible, and that's why, I hope no one doubts anymore when I say I want to evacuate a place. We evacuated Atlantic. We ordered.
He did. He told him to leave, man.
All the barrier islands. The Jersey Shore took an absolute beating, and that's where the storm came on. New Jersey kind of took it in the neck worse than any place, I think, and we're dealing with it now. We're digging out from under.
I know you spoke with President Obama late in the night. What did he tell you?
Yeah, he called me last night around midnight again to ask what else could be done. What we did last night, he was able to move forward very quickly with a major disaster declaration for New Jersey. He worked on that last night with me, offered any other assets that we need to help. I have to say the administration, the president himself, and FEMA Administrator Craig Fugate have been outstanding with us so far. We have a great partnership.
Boy, ask Staten Island.
And I want to thank the president personally for his personal attention to this.
And you're assessing the damage this morning. Rescues continue, but this is going to take weeks to clean up.
There's no question, George, it's going to take weeks to clean up. And in New Jersey, stay home today. And private businesses, unless you have a safe way to get your employees to your place, you should give them the day off.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Here you go. Your boy Christie I think he's just telling it like it is. The president's on track. He's doing what he can do.
Is he?
He's helping everybody that he can help.
I gotta say, I was very surprised to see Chris Christie.
Romney was really upset that he said that because he stole his date to the prom. So that's the big problem. Okay, he stole his date, and they were buddies, and now they're not.
Well, here's the thing, though. Obama was all buddy with Chris Christie. But why don't you ask anybody from Staten Island? They still, as of yesterday, they didn't have anybody from FEMA there.
Yeah, well, that's Staten Island.
And their island is like underwater. They had like 4 feet of water
because they're not Upper Manhattan with all the money and all the fancy people.
What do you mean? No, Obama's not for them.
Manhattan is high-end, high rollers, people with a lot.
Yeah, I know, but Obama's for the middle class.
People with a lot of money, and that's how it is. And the people to the middle class people get shunned like they always do in government.
How do they get shunned by Obama, the leader of the free world middle class?
Because it's New York, baby. It's New York. It's how we roll. You know what I'm saying?
Michael Bloomberg.
It's how we roll.
Multi-billionaire Michael Bloomberg.
Bloomberg and the other guy,
Bloomberg,
Cuomo.
Oh yeah, Cuomo.
So I mean, the middle class got stuck out, and
as usual,
and it's
amazing to me. You've been up there before. I've never been up there, but Staten Island, you would think an island would be like high end, but I guess that one's not.
All of New York's an island, but it's just tough to get in and out with all the bridges and stuff.
So Staten Island's so it should be called like Staten Island.
Yeah, it's southern Long Island, I believe, really. So
okay,
it's down there. So.
I've got a couple audio cuts as well regarding the situation up there. Sick Rick, if you could get ready for cut 10 for me. We've got a couple. There was a couple of disturbing stories that came out. And I've got a caller. We'll take two before I get to this. So after this caller, I'm going to get to the union issue with the Alabama utility workers. So let's take a call from Susan from Maryland on line 1. Susan, you're on the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty. Susan, are you there?
Hi, yes, I am. Hi, guys. You're doing a great job.
Hey, thanks a lot. Thanks for calling in from Maryland.
How's the hurricane?
That's what I wanted to call you about. I have a completely new respect for everyone down in Florida for all the hurricanes that you guys encounter. This was just a Cat 1 that came real close to Maryland, and let me tell you, it was one of the most frightening things I've ever experienced. It was.
That's just an afternoon. That's just an afternoon shower for us.
Was it more frightening than if Obama wins a second term?
Oh my God! Yes. Yes.
That's surprising. Well,
yes.
we're glad you're safe. Did Chaps Pit Beef survive?
I'm sorry, what?
Did Chaps Pit beef survive?
I think so.
Oh, good. Thank God. That was my
that was
my
your big concern.
Yeah.
He was looking on the internet the other day saying, "Maybe we could fly up and get some crab cakes and some beef up there at Chaps Pit Beef." He saw it on the Food Network, so he likes it.
Well, you know, Smitty's.
Well, hey, Smitty, I mean, we're coming down in a couple weeks, but I was ready to board a plane and just get down to you guys.
Well,
just to escape it, because it
we'll bring Joe Raffini.
Well, you know, that would be a first for people to escape the Northeast to come to Florida for a hurricane, but I can understand it in this one respect. But, you know, we're glad you're safe.
And we did not get anything near what New Jersey and New York got. It was, and this was, we just got touched on, and it was extremely, extremely frightening.
Well, you know something that I was actually, I don't want to say surprised, but, you know, before every storm, the Weather Channel and all the Weather Channel reporters, you know, they always hype everything up, and you know, because they want to warn people, but they always sensationalize it. And this was one of those times where they talked about storm surge in New Jersey and New York and how bad it could be. And generally in the past when they've talked about that, other than say New Orleans, it's not been that bad. So this time they had it spot on, and the people that didn't heed the warning are now suffering the consequences. And I hope that they'll remember this for, you know, if there's a storm like this next time.
This is the second major storm that they had in like 14 months. I was looking on the news, and they said that this is more and more is happening. So, I mean, I know you're not a big...
One of the weird things that happened in Maryland was that we had, and Smitty, you know the mountains in western Maryland.
Yes.
We had snow blizzards going on with 2 to 3 feet of snow. The same time we had this hurricane down hitting the shores of Ocean City. I mean, we got nailed.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
Well, I know where
people in Staten Island got the worst.
I know where Smitty was heading with this. He was, of course, going to jump on the global warming, man-made global warming disaster bandwagon.
Let's talk about global warming after the break.
After the break. Well, we got a couple minutes. We'll get into it, but you know. I can't wait. So I'm gonna preface it right now, just on the global warming side of it. And Susan, if you've got anything to add, please do. But you know, people want to jump on this and say, "Oh, this has never happened ever," and this is all because of global warming. Well, this has happened actually multiple times in the 30s, in the 50s, the 60s. They had a storm. Where 3 big systems came together. So weather is cyclical. It happens. You know, the seas rise. What people don't remember is, we used to have an ice age. When we had an ice age, the seas were low. Then the ice melted. Then the seas rose. It goes over and over and over. Yet now we blame it on global warming, man-made global warming. Well, what did they blame it on before? Dinosaur warming? Maybe the dinosaur poop was too strong and it, you know, ruined the atmosphere. I mean, what do you think, Sue?
You're right.
I know.
You're right.
I know. I love to hear it.
He thinks he's right.
Getting blamed for everything, and wow.
How did George Bush cause this one?
Well, I don't know, but he must have.
He must have seeded the clouds, and then Dick Cheney must have been underwater in a submarine guiding the storm up there, like they did with New Orleans, and when they blew the levees.
I didn't even know George Bush was still alive after they hit him so long. They didn't want him to come out of retirement. They just said, "Shut up, sit down."
I'm going to get off of here and fix something to eat.
Brunch. All right.
Okay, all right, Sue.
I just wanted to give y'all kudos for your show and what you encounter with hurricanes, because we have a whole new perspective.
We're troopers down here, man.
Thanks, Sue. Take care. We'll talk to you soon.
Take care.
Okay, Sick Rick, we ready to go, man? All right, folks, we'll be back right after this break.
Ink just rocks on 96krock.com.
If your tattoo rocks, portraits, tribal, black and gray colors, old school, new school, or what have not, submit a photo of your best ink on 96krock.com.
Each month, we'll pick a random winner and hook you up with a $50 gift certificate to Articulture Tattoo and Art Gallery in downtown Fort Myers, home of the $3.99 all-you-can-sit tattoo.
Ink just rocks on 96krock.com. Brought to you by Articulture Tattoo and Art Gallery. Your ink rocks. Submit your photos now.
Are you tired of the same old wasteful spending of our tax dollars? Are you tired of seeing large parts of our county undeveloped with no jobs for our communities? Are you tired of career politicians that promise to represent you and then turn their focus on special interests and the few? Then vote your conscience. Vote Matt Miller for Lee County Commissioner. I am Matt Miller, a fair and responsible choice.
Political party advertisement paid for and approved by Matt Miller, Independence Party, for Lee County Commissioner.
Southwest Florida knows that Dunkin's Diamonds has the best prices, but it's their quality, selection, and excellent customer service that keeps customers coming back year after year. And Dunkin's Diamonds customers have great things to say.
Their sales team is extremely helpful and knowledgeable.
I've shopped at other jewelry stores, but there's no place like Dunkin's Diamonds. And I tell all my friends to come here every chance I get.
At Dunkin's Diamonds, I found everything I was looking for. Great designers. I was awfully impressed with their Hearts on Fire diamonds and jewelry. You know, they're really amazing.
The customer service is excellent. You know, you're free to take your time and browse without being hassled, and all your questions are answered.
I've been to every chain jewelry store, department store, and independently owned stores. None of them beat Dunkin's Diamonds prices. They are the best.
I had some jewelry to sell, and by far, Dunkin's Diamonds paid me the most cash and paid on the spot.
Dunkin's Diamonds puts your mind at ease. Best quality at the best price.
Discover Dunkin's Diamonds, Fort Myers on US 41, and in the Gulf Coast Town Center, where you'll find the largest selection at the best prices in Southwest Florida.
Honor, integrity, leadership. Cecil Pendergrass is a strong leader who will protect and serve Lee County citizens. Cecil is an experienced leader who will cut costs, work with business leaders to promote growth, and protect our community and environment. Vote for a real leader, Cecil Pendergrass, endorsed by the News Press and Naples Daily News. As a community leader, Cecil identified problems, found solutions, and made Lee County a better place to live. As a member of the commission, Cecil will build consensus and bring new jobs to Lee County.
I'm Cecil Pendergrass, and I approve this message.
When it comes to landscaping, farming, or just cutting the grass, no one knows more than Matt Miller Tractor. They offer a huge selection of tractors and mowers for all your needs. Whether it's large commercial development or a small family project, they are your one-stop shop. Matt Miller Tractor is dedicated to providing their customers with the top-of-the-line products and services, all under one roof. Matt Miller takes great pride in his customer service, bringing top brands to you and offering best-of-industry warranties on all product lines. If you're looking for that one-of-a-kind make or model, they have all the top names: Snapper, Kohler, King Cutter, Briggs & Stratton, and more. Sale, service, repair, and maintenance for 20 years. Once you experience their down-home approach to business, you'll see why Matt Miller Tractor is second to none. They treat each customer like a neighbor, because that's what you are. Call Matt Miller Tractor at 239-693-0305. That's 239-693-0305. Or stop by the store at 7261 West State Road 80.
She thinks my tractor's sexy. Shoot in the Shoot Straight gun range for their big sale, November 9th through the 11th. Get amazing deals on guns, ammo, accessories, and more. Smith & Wesson, Sig Sauer, Beretta, Ruger, Kimber, and more. Smith & Wesson Bodyguard, $380 for just $369. Smith & Wesson MP15 Sport, $649. 35% off American Security gun safes, ammo discounts, and get $25 off annual memberships. Shoot Straight Gun Range on the corner of Colonial and Fowler and Fort Myers.
There's nothing like tailgating with your friends and family, watching your Miami Dolphins players run onto the field, hearing the national anthem live, surrounded by Dolphins faithful, followed by a stadium-shaking flyover. There's nothing like kickoff and singing along with your favorite song. There's only one way to get these experiences, and that's live at Sun Life Stadium. Be there for the next Dolphins home game against the Titans. Visit Dolphins.com or call 1-888-FINS-TIX.
For right at 25 years, I've had the opportunity to represent thousands of families who've trusted me and my firm during their time of need. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. As trial lawyers, we're proud of the work we've done on behalf of the consumer. You know, sometimes the insurance industry and HMOs single out trial lawyers for our work, but the proof is in the pudding. It's been the work of America's trial lawyers that has resulted in safer products, better health care, and better treatment of the elderly who live in nursing homes. There's still much work to be done, though. I hope you'll visit us at forthepeople.com. As a boy growing up in Kentucky, I could never have imagined the opportunity you've given me and my firm. My principles are the same today as when I worked for the phone company and was a member of the AFL-CIO. My loyalty was then and is now for the people, not the powerful. Thank you for your trust. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Offices, Fort Myers, Naples.
Jay Goldberg Events and Entertainment and Ballyarney Irish Pub present a Southern Rock Triple Threat. Featuring Molly Hatchet, Blackfoot, and special guest Jim Tandy with Black Oak, Arkansas. Saturday, November 17th at Ballyarney, the Big Castle on US 41, Fort Myers. Tickets $25 advance or $30 at the door. Limited amount of VIP tickets are available for $89 and include reserved seating, buffet dinner, an open bar from 6 till 10 p.m. It's a dose of Southern rock with Molly Hatchet, Blackfoot, and special guest Jim Dandy in Black Oak, Arkansas. Tickets available in advance at Ballyarney or Brent's Music in Fort Myers. Purchase by phone or online at ballyarney.com. Gates open at 5:30. Show at 6:30. This is an outdoor event. No refunds, no pets, no coolers. Shares welcome. At Ballyarney, the Big Castle on US 41 in Fort Myers.
From the huge studios, WRXK, Bonita Springs, Naples, Fort Myers, a Beasley Broadcast Group station, 96K-Rock and 96krock.com. Talk that rocks.
Get off the ledge! Get off the ledge! This country sure as hell been going down the drain.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. Why should you want to know? Don't you mind about the future?
And now, live, unedited, unrehearsed, and unapologetic, brought to you by Duncan's Diamonds, your direct diamond importer. Straight off the ledge, it's JD and Smitty.
This is the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty on 96K Rock. Phone lines are open, 277-9600, or for the viewers around the world watching live streaming video on the Ledge Cam, 239-775-9600. You can visit our website and blog at theledgeradioshow.com. You can also give us a like at facebook.com/The Ledge Radio Show.
Welcome back, Southwest Florida. The second hour is brought to you by Imperial Fire Alarm and Security, securing your world. For all your fire alarm, security, CCTV needs, or access control needs, call Imperial Fire Alarm and Security today at 239-288-6482, or visit them on the web at www.imperialfiresecurity.com. Techs are standing by.
Thanks, Smitty. We always do like to appreciate our sponsors.
Absolutely.
And with us right now, we've got our special guest host, Miss Amber, decided to show up today.
Good morning.
Amber, thanks for coming in.
Didn't need to wake you up.
Yeah, I know. It's like 11 o'clock.
This is early for me. No, just kidding.
I believe it. I understand. Did your son have football this morning? Or?
No, last week was the last game. They were undefeated the entire season, and they lost the last final game.
It sucks.
It was really tough.
Yeah, I've been there, done that.
So don't tell me you believe what he believes, that global warming is just a phenomenon, that it's not man-made. No, we didn't do anything to cause it. It just happens.
It goes in cycles. I mean, you can talk to any geologist or economist. No, I'm just saying.
Well, what caused the Smitty to believe this man-made global warming crap? What caused ice ages, and then what caused the ice to melt?
I don't know about this.
Was it the carbon footprint from all the cars 10,000 years ago?
I wasn't back there in like 1ABC or something, whatever it was. No, I wasn't back there. But I can tell you the primary responsibility for this is the greenhouse gas, and that's what they say. Scientists.
You know what's funny about that is that the actual ozone, the hole in the ozone, is smaller now than it's ever been before.
Do you know the U.S. is responsible for almost 20% of the carbon dioxide emissions worldwide? And you don't think that
carbon dioxide? Thank God! Don't the plants need that?
Don't you think that all that ice that's melting now that it just happens? I mean,
if we didn't have carbon dioxide, we wouldn't have any plants.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Plants take that in. Then through photosynthesis they create oxygen for us to breathe.
That goes right to your theory of just jump in the Gulf of Mexico with all the oil that was spilled out there when they had the catastrophe.
I think it's good for your skin.
And you said, yeah, it's good for your skin. It comes right out of the ground.
It's natural.
It's
natural oil.
It's natural oil. You go get a tan. Just jump in the water and get free tan.
And with that type of oil, you don't even need to have any olive oil in your pan when you fry your shrimp. It's already got oil on it.
It's already on it. If anybody wants to call in, give us a call, 277-9600 or 775-9600. See if you can make sense of this guy.
Amber, I want to get back to what we were talking about. We were talking about the storm, Hurricane Sandy up in the Northeast. And I have a feeling that it's definitely going to affect the election to some degree, either for one candidate or the other, depending on if Barack Obama comes out really strong.
I think it hurts Obama.
That's where I'm getting to. It either comes out, if he can show up as a strong leader and help these folks, I think it helps him. It helps around the country.
Yeah, but you're looking at the people that use the transportation to shut down all the subways, all the stuff.
I have to agree with Smitty on this one. I mean, there's only so much Obama can do, and then from there, it's the administration. But no matter how faulty the rest of the administration is and FEMA is, it's going to be blamed on Obama, no matter how much he cuts the red tape, because it's a broken system.
Yeah, but who's going to blame him? The liberal media?
I think just the people hurting in general. I mean, whether you're right or left. I mean, the left, I mean, there's a lot of them right now that haven't even gotten a bottle of water. So if you can't get your water distributed correctly, how the hell are they going to run the health care plan?
Well, I agree, but, my thinking on that is, look at the folks in Staten Island that were on the TV the other night. I think even last night, they're doing just what you said, they're crying, they're begging for people to help them. Because FEMA hadn't even got there yet.
Right.
But where's the mainstream media going after Obama on this?
They're not.
They were on George Bush's butt the minute the hurricane hit in Katrina.
Obama's Katrina, and there's not the same media attention.
That's because Bush sat on his hands for a couple of weeks.
No, he did not.
No, he did not.
And he didn't know it was such a dysfunctionality.
Why don't you get some truth?
It was such a dysfunctionality. It was such a dysfunctionality.
He was down there within
he didn't even know what to do.
Hours
he had the same expression on his mouth when they told him 911 hit. He sat there going, "Oh,
point the
what a
finger
genius!
At Brown.
What
point
a
the
genius!
Finger at
Where is he, by the way? I haven't heard from him in the last 4 years.
Hey, Smitty,
what's he put away?
You know what? Because
they
he
hide
has
him because he looks like an idiot. That's why he looks like an idiot.
I'll put a bet down. I'll put $100 down. If Obama loses, listen. If Obama loses, I bet you he will not go out quietly with class.
Absolutely,
like what Bush did.
Absolutely.
No, I bet you. On the table.
I hope Romney brings Trump in to fire him the day that Romney's sworn in.
Media.
All right, listen. We got a caller. We got Jack from Fort Myers been holding on line one. Jack, you're on the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty and Amber today.
Well, what's up, guys? Just real quick, I just about the global warming thing and
yes, sir.
The hurricanes as well. The hurricanes, it is absolutely a cycle. It's a 10-year period of time, and this is actually every 110 years or so.
It's crazy talk.
It does happen.
Oh my God!
If everybody remembers, there was an island off in New York that was swept away by a hurricane about 100 years ago.
Well, what caused that? Was it the excess poop gases from the horses?
Exactly, and it's all cycles. And I think that people to be so naive to think that we have an effect on the entire globe as far as the weather goes is just insane.
I'm with you, buddy. I agree.
I'm not.
I know Smitty's not. Hey, Jack, thanks for the call, man. Take care, buddy. Keep listening. All right, we've got another caller. Let's get through these callers real quick. We've got Mike Garofolo, line 2. Mike, you're on the Ledge Radio Show, JD and Smitty and Amber.
Hey, this is Mike Garofolo.
I know. How are you?
Hey. Oh, not too bad. How you guys going up there?
I was screening your call. I knew exactly who you were. Hey, we're doing good, buddy. What's up with you?
Not today. Obama, just like Chicago got hit by this storm, I'm thinking he would have been there on Johnny on the spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's his folks, isn't it? His backyard.
Hey, it doesn't matter. The Northeast, he doesn't care about them people.
Who you voting for, man?
My boy Mitt.
You voting for Mitt?
Mitt Romney.
Well, that just tells me you're still drinking.
Do I ever quit?
No.
He's drinking them black and tans.
Give him an honest. You got to give it to him honest.
That Guinness going on at 47 degrees in the refrigerator.
That's nice. 47 degree. Yeah, that's a good one.
All right, Mike. Thanks for calling, buddy. Take care, man.
See ya.
All right. So, moving on. Forward, as Obama says. Actually, he's changed his slogan now because of the hurricane. Now it's lean forward. Because if you lean into the wind, you won't be blown away as bad. So now he's got lean forward.
You'll be blown away when Tuesday's election gets done, boy.
Well, we'll see what happens on Tuesday.
You'll be crying in your tan and black.
I very well could be. If the Democrats steal this election, if they steal the election in Ohio, then we could.
You mean like Catherine Harris did?
Like Catherine Harris did?
Yeah. The great thing, JD, about if Obama wins is that Prozac is covered under Obamacare.
We will need some Prozac.
We're going to load up, both of us.
Yeah, you guys will need it.
No, we're going to need it.
Right now, you guys are leading into polls. I know you don't like polls, and you didn't like them until all of a sudden you got the lead. Then they were gospel. But every time I brought up the poll and you guys were losing by 3 or 4 points, it was like, oh, the polls don't mean crap. Now all of a sudden you're up, and now it's like, oh, yeah, this is the polls we're leading.
Here's the difference. Here's the difference in the old polls. when the liberal media was found out to have been oversampling the Democrat voters,
of course,
and not telling the Americans why the Democrats were leading in the polls.
Let me guess, you got that from Fox News? Oh my gosh, I'm stunned.
Well, here's what's happened since they were exposed. Now all the liberal media is also giving correct polling information because they were called on the carpet for cheating again.
If the Democrats want to win, they better get off their butts and go out and vote.
Hopefully they get on the subway in New York right now.
Because if they don't vote, they're going to get what's got coming to them, and they'll be sorry when it's all over with. And I will give the Republicans credit. They do mobilize great. They mobilize fantastic. They market well.
We didn't used to.
They stream.
We didn't used to. It wasn't until Obama showed his cards that he was leading this country towards Marxism that we got off our butts and awakened the sleeping giant.
And now you guys have really mobilized, and I tell you what, if the Democrats are going to sit back and just talk a game and go, well, we don't want them, then you better get out and vote. You better get out and vote.
So what's the process now in New York and Staten Island if they don't have electric and they don't have the...
They're bringing in, Obama's got military trucks coming in to bring mobile voting booths.
Really?
Yeah, so that's interesting.
But, I mean, how is he going to get everybody to him, though?
I don't know. Maybe they walk. I mean, he probably puts one on every block.
Okay,
you got plenty of military trucks. This is one thing I wanted to get to, just in regards to the storm and the response to the storm.
Maybe it's just keep driving down the street and people walk in. Go to the next block, go to the next block, go to the next block, go to the next block. Just keep driving around.
Well, I know I saw some on the news the other day. They were
the bookmobile.
They were interviewing some Democrat plants from when Obama was elected last time, and certain folks, they had voted like 72 times. Democrats, they kept busting them from polling station to polling station because they didn't ask for their IDs, because God forbid you ask for an ID when you go to vote. We might actually know if you're a citizen or not, and so they would let them vote like 70 times.
I think you won by more than 70 votes, though.
That was one guy. Why don't you use some multiplication there, Mr. Math?
You know as well as I know, there's always going to be some sketchy voting, especially in Florida. So, you're going to talk about that.
All right, listen. Please. We're going to take a call. When we get back, I'm going to talk about unions, one of your favorite subjects,
sure.
up in New Jersey.
We'll take a call. So hang on, caller.
We got Bill from Cape Coral on line 1. Bill, you're on the Ledge Radio Show. Bill, are you there, buddy?
Hey, buddy. JD, how you doing?
Good, man. What you got for us?
Hey, I've got one thing that I could thank the current president of the United States, and that is I always, watched politics, but I've never been so involved because it is imperative that we start to take note of what's going on in our country. And if it wasn't for Obama doing what he's doing, I wouldn't, and I'm sure tons of Americans wouldn't be so involved and actually opening their eyes to where our country is actually going. So this is a good thing, and I believe we're going to have a great outcome on Tuesday.
Hey, Bill, we appreciate the call, buddy. I totally get your sentiment. I know exactly what you're talking about, and I think that happened for a lot of folks. And I mentioned it earlier. There was a town hall, just right around the time when Obamacare was trying to get ramped up before they passed Obamacare, and one of the ladies was interviewing one of the senators or the congressmen that had come down for the town hall, and she said told him flat out, you've awakened the sleeping giant. Or the sleeping dragon. Yep. We're the silent majority, and we've been silent for a long time because why? Well, we don't waste time and protest everything. We go to work. That's how we do that's how we provide for America. We work. We don't sit out in the corner every day protesting why something's not going our way and why we didn't get more free crap or a free phone or whatever. So now Obama's shown his whole hand. There's no more trickle towards Marxism like the Democrats have been doing since the 30s and even before that with Woodrow Wilson. He showed his whole hand and said flat out, bam, we're going to be Marxism and leading into socialism. And, more power to him because he woke us all up.
You sound like just like one of them Romney rednecks. We're all going to be Marxists.
Hang on a second.
We're all going to be Marxists. We're all going to be communists. We're all going to be socialists. Oh, my God.
Let the caller.
Smitty, hang on, Smitty. Why does it got to be a redneck? What's wrong with good? Now, you do realize where the term redneck came from, right? Out making a living in the sun, and you come back because you've been on the farm and you got a redneck.
The
true term came from.
I also know the true term to cracker too. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. There you go. There you go, big boy.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
actually, you don't know the true term because I know what I know where you're trying to go. I am a Florida cracker. My family's been here since the 1840s, and I'll tell you where it came from. It came from the people driving their cattle to Punta Rasa to send them out of state to sell their cattle.
That's not what
and they were crackers.
That's not what the crackers told me.
That's incorrect. The crackers cracked the whips
You're
over
trying
top
to
of their
clean it up.
cows.
Tell it like it is, big boy.
I am. I'm from here.
That ain't the truth, and you know it ain't.
Because they were herding cattle with the...
Yeah. They were cracking a whip, but it ain't on cattle.
Nice try. Nice try, Smitty. That's more liberal racism, race baiting from Smitty.
That's the cracker store. Yes, anybody on the street to tell you.
Yeah, anybody on the street.
That's good reference.
You guys don't want to hear the truth because it's insulting to you.
When their ideas don't work and they got nothing else, they'll start pulling race cards.
That's right.
There you go.
Hey,
oh, my God.
Hey, Bill.
Smitty, I still love you.
I love you too, baby.
Thanks for the call,
buddy.
Thanks
for calling, Bill.
You know, one thing he said, though, one thing Smitty said, Romney rednecks. You know, Mitt Romney looks like the furthest thing from a redneck I've ever seen.
That's very true.
You know, how many rednecks are there in Massachusetts?
Or in the Mormon church.
Yeah.
I don't live up there. I don't know. I know there's a lot of rednecks all over the place.
But you like to use that term. You called the guy a name. You called him a Romney redneck.
I heard it last week. The lady called, and
I remember her call.
I thought it was very appropriate.
Because I remember Amber called right after it. Because it makes no sense. Romney is not a redneck.
Well,
Romney's a city boy.
I think it's after that comment that Omabi made about clinging to your guns and to your, and I think that really isolated the middle class.
She was taking the word Romney, GOP, and put a redneck as in somebody
in the same
down,
category.
right.
Absolutely,
and that's all she was doing.
Yeah. But that's an idiotic.
Well, I don't think so. I thought it was very
that's
creative and very nice.
creative
and nice. Let me go to something real quick before we get to break.
Behind my pickup truck, I'll show her.
So we heard the story about the Alabama utility company that went up to New Jersey. They were headed to New Jersey to help get the power back on, and they got to Virginia. And they had paperwork back at their home office from the IBEW
in Alabama.
They had paperwork at their office in Alabama that was sent from the IBEW in New Jersey saying you have to comply with this contract, otherwise we can't use you guys. Well, it took them a day to figure out to get through all the paperwork. By then, the owner says, "Well, we just want to go up and help these people. We want to help get the power back on." But the union said, "No, you can't come into the state unless you sign this document and you approve these documents." So let me hear cut 10, Sick Rick. Let's go.
I've got another Hurricane Sandy outrage story. Utility crews who drove from Alabama to donate their time and equipment to help rebuild New Jersey were turned away. Their workers were told they cannot help because they would not join a union. Well, joining us now is Ray Hardin. He is the general manager of Decatur Utilities.
Why would they?
His crews were turned away. Ray, thanks for joining us. I want to really straighten this one out. All of the crews that drove up, were they all turned away or just some of them?
All of our crews that we sent to that area, we have now returned to Decatur. I did want to clarify, our crews were sent up there and ended up in the Virginia area, in a staging area. They never actually got to the New Jersey town that we were headed to support. We were presented with documents from IBEW that required our folks to affiliate with the union, and it was something that we could not agree to. And it was our understanding, and still is, that was a requirement of working in that area.
Okay, so your guys, they drove from Alabama to Virginia, which is a long, long drive. That's over 24 hours, if I'm not mistaken. They get to Virginia, and the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, the union, presented your guys from Alabama with papers and said, you either sign these or go home. You don't work. Was it like that?
It was not in person. We were dealing with those documents here, dealing with those officials directly from Alabama. Okay. We ultimately chose that we could not agree to those documents and began looking for other areas that could use our assistance without those conditions.
Have they all set off back to Alabama, or have they continued north to New Jersey to see if they can do help here? What's their status? Where are they?
Most of our crews had been stalled in Virginia the entire day, Thursday, we were trying to work through these issues. So we made the decision late Thursday evening to return them, and so they're on their way home today, and should be arriving back in our town late this afternoon.
I find that incredible. Mr. Harding, I do want to tell you on behalf of all the people in the Northeast and certainly Virginia, we thank you very much indeed for the effort Even though it was spurned, we thank you for the effort. This is precisely the kind of thing, help on the ground floor, that we in the Northeast really want and appreciate. Thanks for your help, sir. We do appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, there you have it. And I know you've got some major comments for this, Smitty. Unfortunately, we are up on a hard break. I want to pick back up on this after we've got Lee County Sheriff candidate Lee Bushong coming on with us in the next segment. So we're going to get through that segment with Mr. Bushong. Then we can go come back to this. Folks, we'll be right back.
96 K-Rock. Stan and Haney Afternoons.
We will tell you about a study that identifies the most annoying hand gestures there are.
How about this one? That one ranked right up there. There's a hand gesture.
Stan? I believe we have manners in this building.
How about this? Is this one? That one count?
How about this one?
Yeah, how about that one?
Stan and Haney Afternoons. 96 K-Rock. Talk that rocks.
Hi, I'm Matt Miller. Would you like to help to restore the American dream, own a home, and be able to provide for your family? Then vote for me so we can make a difference. Restore our economic future. Vote Matt Miller, November 6th. Let's take back our country. I am Matt Miller, a fair and responsible choice.
Political party advertisement paid for and approved by Matt Miller, Independence Party, for Lee County Commissioner.
When it comes to landscaping, farming, or just cutting the grass, no one knows more than Matt Miller Tractor. They offer a huge selection of tractors and mowers for all your needs. Whether it's large commercial development or a small family project, they are your one-stop shop. Matt Miller Tractor is dedicated to providing their customers with the top-of-the-line products and services, all under one roof. Matt Miller takes great pride in his customer service, bringing top brands to you and offering best of industry warranties on all product lines. If you're looking for that one-of-a-kind make or model, they have all the top names: Snapper, Kohler, King Cutter, Briggs & Stratton, and more. Sale, service, repair, and maintenance for 20 years. Once you experience their down-home approach to business, you'll see why Matt Miller Tractor is second to none. They treat each customer like a neighbor, because that's what you are. Call Matt Miller Tractor at 239-693-0305. That's 239-693-0305. Or stop by the store at 7261 West State Road 80.
She thinks my tractor's sexy.
Hi, I'm Matt Miller. Would you like to help to restore the American dream, own a home, and be able to provide for your family? Then vote for me so we can make a difference. Restore our economic future. Vote Matt Miller, November 6th. Let's take back our country. I am Matt Miller, a fair and responsible choice.
Political party advertisement paid for and approved by Matt Miller, Independence Party, for Lee County Commissioner.
ZOOMTAN. I was tan last summer, now I'm pale again. I need a little bit of help to be ready for the beach soon. Tan puts some within my reach. Brown as a biscuit for $9.99. ZoomTan.com for a limited time. ZoomTan, $9.99. ZoomTan.com.
ZoomTan has 25 locations throughout Florida. Go to ZoomTan.com for a location near you and for a free spray tan coupon. That's ZoomTan.com. Why be pale and pasty when you can be tan and tasty?
Bob Quiz, the upholstery whiz. Quiz and Quiz reupholstery.
Have you been looking at your old tired furniture? Ready for something new? Well, don't replace, reupholster. And when it comes to reupholstery, the most trusted name in Fort Myers is Gwiz. Gwiz & Gwiz Reupholstery offers over 30 years experience in custom reupholstery and furniture refinishing. Third-generation master craftsmanship for your home, boat, and auto. They can make your sofa, love seat, chairs, tables, and dressers look like new again. Is your auto headliner torn and loose? Gwiz & Gwiz can do headliners too, plus antique restoration. Gwiz & Gwiz Reupholstery offers free in-home estimates, plus free pickup and delivery. Give Gwiz & Gwiz a call today at 239-332-1700. That's 332-1700. So don't replace, reupholster with Fort Myers' most trusted name.
Bob Quiz, the upholstery whiz. Quiz and Quiz reupholstery.
At Duncan's Diamonds, we offer diamonds at or below internet pricing, and we're able to offer select diamonds at wholesale prices. Hi, my name is Amanda, and this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I will be conducting an amazing event at Duncan's Diamonds, providing free evaluations and paying cash for your diamonds, antiques, silver, and gold items. In high demand are platinum, gold, and silver jewelry, diamonds, gold coins, 1964 and earlier silver coins, bullion, sterling silver flatware, and pocket watches. Don't have any gold or silver? I will also be purchasing war relics, vintage guitars, foreign coins, and paper currency. Folks, the prices for gold and silver are climbing once more. Now is the time to cash in your old gold and silver items. Don't wait until the market drops again and your items lose precious value. No one is offering higher prices than Duncan's Diamonds, up to 30% more this Friday and Saturday until 8 and Sunday 12 to 6.
Duncan's Diamonds in the Gulf Coast Town Center.
The Home Depot is the exclusive home to the new water-saving WaterSense Delta Foundation's bath faucet for just $39. Conserving water always makes sense. So does conserving money. Now you can do both beautifully and affordably thanks to the new water-saving WaterSense Delta Foundation's bath faucet. Only at the Home Depot and only $39. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. U.S. only. See store for details.
Well, here we go.
Yeah, that's what my friends say too. Well, here we go.
Now back to the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty on 96 K-Rock. Talk that rocks.
Welcome back. Phone lines are open. Numbers are 239-277-9600 or 775-9600. Check out our live stream at theledgeradioshow.com. You can also find us at facebook.com/The Ledge Radio Show. In with us right now, we got a special guest. We've got Mr. Lee Bushong running for Lee County Sheriff. Lee, we appreciate you coming in.
Oh, good morning, guys. Thank you for having me in here. Am I on?
Yes, you are on.
Okay.
Got a new sheriff in town, boys.
So
there you go.
We've had we talked to Tim Fisher, who was in the primary against the sheriff, and then we've had the sheriff on, and now we've got you on, and I know you've got some stuff you want to get to. Our segments aren't real long, so let's get into the meat of it, man. What makes you want to become the next sheriff of Lee County?
Well, it's pretty simple. Back in the day, before I ever joined the sheriff's office, as a U.S. Marine, and I stood in defense of this country on more than one time, and I served, 2 tours. One's usually enough for anybody, but I had to go back for another one. And then
I drove through Michigan Link once.
Okay, well that classifies for one day.
That's it. I got 1 day of tour.
And then I joined the sheriff's office. It was just kind of like a natural progression when I moved here, and I found that I fit very well, and I was able to continue to serve not my country as a whole, but at least my county, and that drove me all the way up through the ranks of a lieutenant. And
how long have you been with the sheriff's department?
I was there about 11 years.
Okay.
About 11 years. And
were you with the city police before that, or just the sheriff?
No, just the sheriff.
Okay.
But I've been around the county. For instance, I started up in North Fort Myers, and I worked there for 3 or 4 years, and then I became a detective down in Bonita, and then eventually I went countywide in capacities like a homicide detective, and later on in narcotics enforcement and stuff like that.
Born and raised down here?
No, sir.
Where?
I am fresh blood. I was born in Ohio.
Ohio?
Yeah.
Oh, the big swing state.
One of them. Yes, we are.
OHIO.
But I can't tell you the last time I was back there.
Now, do you? I forget. We talked last week or week before, and it was just a small bit about football. But you don't root for Ohio State, though.
I don't root really much for any football, to be honest with you.
I got you. Anti-football.
No. I didn't say anti-football. If I would ever follow one,
he's into Jello wrestling. Okay.
Professional Jello wrestling is a great sport.
Great sport.
It's certainly entertaining.
I understand. Well, when you talked last time, we didn't have a lot of time to get into some of the major details. You were touting some of your accomplishments, and of course, in a fierce campaign, you're always going to have issues with the current administration, and you're here today to go through the items you want to touch on. Let's get to it, man.
Well, the number one thing that I hear on the street that really concerns people is that the sheriff's office is used to further a political agenda. And, at one point in time, just being brought up in the sheriff's office, that has always had been a vastly Republican place, I never saw it for anything other than what it was until now. And I got my inspiration more or less from the judges, in the fact that, judges don't participate in political process. They're immune, if you will, or blinded, to those individual agendas. Why is law enforcement no different? why? And that was a question that we explored. And that's eventually what prompted the NPA.
The non-political affiliation.
Exactly.
Instead of filing, say, as independent or Democrat or Republican
or something else.
I gotcha.
So we went non-party, and what you'll actually see is, if you look into the campaign, is that we've got a lot of support from the Democratic Party. We've got a lot of support from key members of the Republican Party. We got former committeemen, state committeemen.
Well, I was going to mention that too, because I did notice on your website the Democrat Party did endorse Lee Bushong for sheriff, and that's, I guess, could be considered good in a sense if you need those extra voters. But I mean, with this being a largely Republican county, that could serve to hurt you more than help you.
Well, I think too that a lot of people are looking beyond just the label. Within the Republican Party itself, it's told to me so many times that the members are just frankly disgusted with the arrogance that they perceive that the current sheriff has. And I hear that a number of times. As a matter of fact, I was standing out in Cape Coral the other day, and this happens quite frequently. And there goes the old crusty veteran with the Mitt Romney sticker on the back of his car, saying, "Hey, I just voted for you." I mean, we get this kind of stuff all the time, and I'm very grateful for that. But I think people are seeing finally beyond, the sheriff's office isn't supposed to be a political pulpit.
But now, would you agree that the sheriff's position is political in that he is that's an elected position? And quite frankly, if you were to be elected, that's how you'd get to the offices, through politics. Whether you're NPA or Democrat or Republican or independent, the sheriff doesn't have the ability to change that structure. The sheriff just has to work within it. So even, let's say you get elected, you're gonna run. If you choose to, you'd have in 4 years from now, you'd have another election to go through. So you may realize by then that it's a political position. I mean, the sheriff now, chief of police, that's not a political position. That's something that as you go up the ranks, maybe you get appointed by the mayor, however that works. But even in that case, you're appointed by someone that is a political position. So you can't really take the politics out of it when you're elected.
No, you're absolutely right. But let me give this to you. The Charter Review Committee of Lee County has recommended that all of our constitutional offices be non-party. All right. They let me go back to the judges for just a moment. They're elected too, and but they're not allowed to be involved in what we would consider to be mainstream political process.
Right.
And we've got to we can talk about school board members. I mean, we can talk about a lot of members. Sure. Do we participate in the political process? Well, by design we do, but it's not. It doesn't mean that we have to embrace one ideology, whether it's vastly Republican or vastly Democrat or whatever the case may be. See, the sheriff is serving everybody in Lee County. He's not just serving the Republicans. He's not just serving the Democrats or whatever demographic that we want to talk about. It would be almost as silly as saying that the sheriff, because he's male, only protects and serves male people.
Sure, I understand what you're saying. Now, what do you think about this, though? If the sheriff has a Republican ideology, he's a Republican candidate, and let's say that another candidate is Democrat, and maybe just for the sake of getting on the ballot that way, certain voting blocks of people, maybe they vote Republican sheriff because they want those Republican ideals, or maybe they vote Democrat sheriff because they like the idea of big government and more money spent and that kind of thing. So, people look at these things through that lens. And now, ultimately, when it comes down to it, the sheriff is here to protect the people. And so, I think even if you look at the primary with the negative campaigning that the other candidate had against the sheriff, it didn't seem to hold a lot of water because the sheriff won in such a landslide in the primary. Mm-hmm. So I think that the people, at least during that primary, think that the sheriff was doing a good enough job to beat out the guy who had not had the opportunity yet.
And the main thing is they really talked about the funds, that he has less funds to work with now, and he's been able to make that kind of work within the guidelines of what he has. So, I mean, people have said that he hasn't done a horrible job with managing the money as opposed to getting a product finished, too,
What do you say to that?
Well, you talk about the sheriff, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Let me point this out, is that I disagree. The sheriff, I feel he's vastly mismanaged some of our money. When he took office, he inherited a $108 million budget. He increased that budget. He won't admit it. He doesn't like it. None of his literature will say it. But in the first 3 or 4 years of his campaign, or his first term in office, he increased our budget by over $56 million. And I like to point out.
Was that over the 4 years or the first year?
That was over the his first term.
Okay.
So, is it coming back down? It is. But is it where it's supposed to be? Absolutely not. Why do I say that? In 2000, we had 319 patrol officers with a $57 million budget. Right now, we have almost 3 times that budget still in place, but we only have about 343 patrol officers. So you're telling me roughly 25 patrol officers is costing us,
if I'm not mistaken, and I don't know, I don't have the budget in front of me, but wouldn't it be fair to say that, I'm guessing it'd be fair to say that some of that increased spending, the $54 million, could that have come from the new jail facility that was built next on Ortiz?
We didn't pay a penny for that. That came out of the Board of County Commissioners funds. Okay. It did. We did.
What about staffing it?
We did, and that cost right about $8 million.
Okay.
All right. So let's just remove the $8 million from the $56 million. Okay. Now don't kill me on my math here, but
sure.
What is that right off the top of my head? $48 million. The issue is that I've gone through all 3,600 some light numbers. I know we're kind of getting into the weeds here, but when we're looking at how exactly our money is spent, so that it is best serves the community. You see, the sheriff. Let's move the politics out of the side for a moment. He's entrusted with a lot. Okay, he's a steward of the taxpayers. He's a steward of the people's faith, and is he fulfilling that? Does he fulfill that when he politicizes one agenda over somebody else's, regardless of what it is?
Well, but if he's already known as a Republican sheriff, because that's the party he's with, and he's gonna endorse or what have you with other Republicans, that's what I expect as a registered Republican. I want, if he's a Republican sheriff, I would expect him to endorse other Republicans. I would think it odd that he either not endorse Republicans that share the same ideals or endorse Democrats who are the opposite of what I'm looking for.
My position is, don't endorse, period. We're apolitical. Okay, as far as it can be, we have to remain as divorced from the political process as necessary.
Is it illegal?
Sure.
Is it illegal for him to endorse?
Oh no. Okay. I'm not saying it's illegal.
Okay.
You're just saying
he's saying be bipartisan. He's saying be bipartisan. He's there to enforce the law, and he shouldn't have to pander to one side, the party lines. That's what he's trying to.
And that's what you're going to see over and over and recurring. You'll not see us get involved in that because there's no need to. From a sheriff's office at a local level like this, what laws do the sheriff make?
None.
He doesn't make any.
No, the sheriff does not make laws.
Okay.
That is correct.
He's an enforcer.
He enforces the laws. That's right.
And they certainly do that. They certainly enforce, man.
No, not again.
You get pulled over.
He can't get any more sympathy for his ticket issue.
You get pulled over. That you are guilty and enforced to the max. Period. You're done. So.
Well, what
I got some statistics here. I don't know if you know them or not. I'll just I'm not trying to pin you down. I just find it interesting. The murder. How many murders do you think we had this year in Lee County?
We've had 41 murders so far this year. It's an almost 200% increase over last year.
It says here. It says like 20. Okay.
Robbery. You want to talk about that?
Robbery. How many robberies we got?
I believe we're at 160 some odd.
373 it says.
Wow. Okay.
Is that all Lee County?
Well,
Lee County Sheriff's Office it says.
Okay, now let's look at this for a moment. What the current sheriff likes to do, and he'll do it to his benefit. He's a very good politician. Mm-hmm. Give him credit for that.
Nice guy. I met him.
Oh, he is a nice guy.
I don't know about his troopers out there pulling me over every 5 minutes, but they need to do old school. Let me go, man. I'm an old guy.
We've had 20 murders. We've had 20 murders in the city of Cape Coral. We've had roughly the same number out. I'm city of Cape Coral. I apologize, Cape Coral. We've had them in Fort Myers. We've had roughly the same amount outside of the city of Fort Myers. And then we've had 2 in Cape Coral this year. What the current sheriff likes to do is he likes to be able to quote what benefits him the best. And in this case, he says, we've had 20 murders this year in unincorporated Lee County. Well, he's right. But we're not looking at the whole picture. Okay, we've had 41 murders this year. Even on his own website, it says that there's an excess of over 100%. They cap it at 100%.
And I would say that the sheriff is factually accurate when it comes to Greater Lee County, because that's what he's saying. But if we've got 20 something additional murders in city of Fort Myers, city limits, we've got 2 different. We got a police department and a sheriff's department in that area. So clearly, I mean, it's got to be. Tough. I'm assuming you got 2 different agencies working together in there. So if you got 20 murders in the city, I mean, I don't know what else he can do. You've already got another police force there.
I mean, does it pull from the right?
From a law enforcement perspective, no. Okay, but from a community perspective, yes. And why do I say that? If you're living, let's just say you live in Lehigh, okay, and you're driving down Colonial Boulevard to come to work one morning, and all of a sudden you get caught up in that shooting out there, and you accidentally get shot. Bad guys don't care about jurisdictional boundaries.
Sure.
Okay, they don't care. Bullets will travel across jurisdictional boundaries. The fact that we've had so many homicides, and the majority of them are, related to criminal activity. Where we had maybe 2 or 3 flukes this year, maybe 1 or 2 domestic violences, but for the most part, they're tracked back to one thing, and that is the drug and the gun trade. So these agencies they have to work together, and they're not. Okay, there's too many turf wars. Well, I'm done with it. I don't care about who gets the credit. That means nothing to me. What I want is a safe Lee County. I want to see these crimes. Just take this for a moment here. When we talk about crime, we got to look at something else, because we're year 2 of the baby boomer retirement, okay, and we're in a bad economy here. Our houses are sitting in foreclosure all across this county. How do we expect to attract people here to retire here when we have 41 murders?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
So we have to look at it from an economic standpoint too. Is we got to heal.
We seem to have plenty of room for child molesters and that are around the freaking schools. Every time I pull up his site and look for that, it's crazy.
Well,
what is going on with that? I mean, I look at the maps and they have literally a site where you can go on Lee County and it'll tell you where the child molesters are, and they're like around the schools.
Is there anything
that's crazy?
Can do about that?
Yeah, well, there's laws that prohibit these guys from living so close to schools or being in certain areas and certain other things. And yes, there are enforcement efforts that we can take to move the people out of the way, and there's some legal stuff that goes with it.
Let's talk about that in a minute. We're going to take a real quick.
Okay, right?
Yeah, we have to let Mr. Bushong go because we got another scheduled caller on for this segment. But Mr. Bushong, where can people go to learn more about you? Do you have a website set up that folks can learn about you?
I do. Visit me www.lee2012.com. That's Lee 2012.
That's a nice website name.
It is. My
How did you get that one?
Lee County.
Wow.
007 was taken.
No kidding. So folks can go there and learn more about you, what you're about, what you've done before, what you plan to do in the future.
The whole thing here, we want to bring experience and forward-acting law enforcement back to this county. So, guys,
go out and vote.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate your time.
Okay?
Thanks for coming
so
in.
Much.
Folks, we'll be right back.
96 K-Rock supports Southwest Florida's bikers with the Biker Map.
Hey, this is Chris from the Biker Map. The Biker Map is in over 500 locations, and if you can't find it, just go to thebikermap.com. The Biker Map.
Grab a copy by stopping by K-Rock Broadcasts, and always at the K-Rock Studios in Estero.
I just want to say thank you to Southwest Florida and all the advertisers for supporting all the motorcycle riders out there. The Biker Map. And be sure to be on the lookout for the all-new The Boater Map from 96 K-Rock and 96krock.com.
I am Matt Miller. You are Matt Miller. We are Matt Miller. Vote for me November 6th. Or you can vote early at the Supervisor of Elections, downtown Fort Myers, so we can make a difference and restore fiscal responsibility and economic development to our area. I am a believer. I am your neighbor. I am you. I am Matt Miller, a fair and responsible choice.
Political party advertisement paid for and approved by Matt Miller, Independence Party, for Lee County Commissioner.
Honor, integrity, leadership. Cecil Pendergrass is a strong leader who will protect and serve Lee County citizens. Cecil is an experienced leader who will cut costs, work with business leaders to promote growth, and protect our community and environment. Vote for a real leader, Cecil Pendergrass, endorsed by the News Press and Naples Daily News. As a community leader, Cecil identified problems, found solutions, and made Lee County a better place to live. As a member of the commission, Cecil will build consensus and bring new jobs to Lee County.
I'm Cecil Pendergrass, and I approve this message.
Southwest Florida knows that Duncan's Diamonds has the best prices, but it's their quality, selection, and excellent customer service that keeps customers coming back year after year. And Duncan's Diamonds customers have great things to say.
Their sales team is extremely helpful and knowledgeable.
I've shopped at other jewelry stores, but there's no place like Duncan's Diamonds. And I tell all my friends to come here every chance I get.
At Duncan's Diamonds, I found everything I was looking for. Great designers. I was awfully impressed with their Hearts on Fire diamonds and jewelry. They're really amazing.
The customer service is excellent. You're free to take your time and browse without being hassled, and all your questions are answered.
I've been to every chain jewelry store, department store, and independently owned stores.
None of them beat Duncan's Diamonds prices. They are the best.
I had some jewelry to sell, and by far, Duncan's Diamonds paid me the most cash and paid on the spot.
Duncan's Diamonds puts your mind at ease. Best quality at the best price.
Discover Duncan's Diamonds, Fort Myers on US 41, and in the Gulf Coast Town Center, where you'll find the largest selection at the best prices in Southwest Florida.
Are you tired of the same old wasteful spending of our tax dollars? Are you tired of seeing large parts of our county undeveloped with no jobs for our communities? Are you tired of career politicians that promise to represent you and then turn their focus on special interest and the few? Then vote your conscience. Vote Matt Miller for Lee County Commissioner. I am Matt Miller, a fair and responsible choice.
Political party advertisement paid for and approved by Matt Miller, Independence Party, for Lee County Commissioner.
Foreclosures are at an all-time high, and here in Southwest Florida, we're at the center of the storm. I'm Mike Chinopoulos of Absolute Law in Fort Myers. If you find yourself facing the possibility of foreclosure, it's important to have an attorney on your side, someone who understands your legal options. Call Absolute Law at 239-349-8010. As an experienced attorney and former judge, I've helped people like you navigate their way through the often confusing foreclosure process. When the mortgage bills are piling up, it may seem like there's nowhere to turn, but help is available. At Absolute Law, we understand what you're going through, and we'll aggressively fight for your rights. So let me be your advocate. Call today for a free legal consultation, 239-349-8010. Remember, if you have questions concerning foreclosure, I can help. Call me, Mike Chinopoulos of Absolute Law, at 239-349-8010. That's 349-8010, or find us online at absolutelaw.net. Absolute Law, a law firm you can trust, absolutely.
Rock Solid wants you to be our customer. Rock Solid Countertops and More is your supermarket for countertops, flooring, and cabinets. And right now, for a limited time, our suppliers are offering us outrageous deals, and we want to pass the savings on to you. So come find huge granite savings on a huge selection of countertops, with one-stop shopping on granite, marble, and quartz, plus flooring and cabinet fabrication. Complete granite kitchens from $9.99 installed. All Rock Solid products offer affordable quality for life. Rock Solid will not be undersold. Bring us your best offer and we will beat it. Hurry in now. We want you to save, because Rock Solid knows you work hard for the money. Off Airport Pulling on JNC Boulevard in Naples. When coming to see us, look for the Superman Sign Guy. Call 596-7676. 596-7676. Or visit HugeGraniteSale.com. Rock Solid Countertops and More. It's really big. We now return to the T-Shirt Awards.
And now for the award for Southwest Florida's leading T-shirt shop. May I have the envelope, please? And the winner is Deanie Potsabob.
Psst, no, it's Bob's Top End. You're reading the winner upside down.
What? Bob's Top End is turning the T-shirt world upside down with quality custom screen printing, embroidery, and graphics. Perfect for your business, organization, and school. From Bob's Top End.
So it gives me great honor to present this golden statue to Deanie Potsabob.
I'm telling you, it's Bob's Top End.
That's not what the statue said.
That's because you're holding that upside down, too.
What?
No matter how you say it, there's only one Bob's Top End. 11,000 Metro Parkway, north of Crystal Drive in Fort Myers. Bob's Top End. Call 936-8880.
Now back to the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty on 96 K-Rock. Talk that rocks.
Welcome back. Phone lines are open. The numbers are 239-277-9600 or 775-9600. We are live streaming at theledgeradioshow.com. I want to take a call. We've got Bonita Springs City Councilman Peter Simmons has been holding on line 3 very patiently. Peter, you're on the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty.
Good morning, everybody. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning. Hey, thanks for being on with us, buddy. You know, I wanted to touch base on the they're calling it the referendum authorizing slot machine gaming at the Naples-Fort Myers Greyhound Track in Lee County. And, being that you're down in Bonita Springs, you guys are, right next door. I think this particular issue would affect you guys, greatly. What can you tell us about this particular referendum?
Well, I guess it starts off with, like anything, on a personal relationship, and the Havenex family has been in Bonita Springs for over 50 years. They started as a small business, self-made people, honest, wonderful, wonderful people, and I've known the Havenex family for a couple of years now. And this is, quite frankly, the American dream. I mean, it's if this goes through, you're going to look at close to 500 full-time, good-paying jobs in Lee County, and you're going to look to right around 200 jobs for the city of Bonita Springs.
Absolutely. Well, that sounds good. And I also saw, I think it was in one of the news articles that came out a few weeks ago when they were talking about this, that, I guess, I don't know if it's, and you can clarify, if I, misspeak on this, but the city of Bonita stands to gain a certain percentage of the profits up to a certain dollar amount, of money coming in from the, if this referendum goes through, and that will help pay for maybe increased security, increased city services. Can you speak a little bit about that?
Sure, no, and you're absolutely right with that, Jeremy. As it stands now, if this goes through on Tuesday, and of course then there's another element, it has to go through the state legislature as well. I mean, that has to be passed, but as it is right now, 1.5% of the track's annual slots revenue up to the first $250 million will come back to the city of Bonita Springs. And that was totally voluntary by the Habeneck family. They did not have to do that. And any amount over $250 million will result in the city of Bonita Springs getting 2.5%.
Okay, well that's really amazing. You don't see that a lot from private businesses, but wanting to necessarily donate a percentage of their revenues to a city or a utility or anything. But I'm assuming that they must see that by bringing the slots in, they may need some increased security. They may need some increased law enforcement. Maybe, and there's been a lot of arguments back and forth between what casino gaming brings and what it doesn't bring, whether it brings a criminal element or not. And, we've got casinos in and throughout Florida already. We've got the different Indian tribe-owned casinos. We've got the Big M casino. And to me, I don't see...
That's a casino, the Big M?
Well, you know what I mean. It is a casino. It's not a large one.
No.
But, I haven't seen a big influx of mob, necessarily related crime. I mean, did you guys look at this too, Peter, when it was talked about coming to your neck of the woods?
No, we absolutely did, and certainly the city council heard testimony from a lot of different sides and a lot of different people on this issue, and heard from the Lee County Sheriff's Office. And quite frankly, if you look at it, which is obviously it's a very valid concern and one that everybody on city council, myself included, was worried about. When you look at it, they're going to have more security there than they have in most other parts of town or the county. So really, it would be almost the last place you would see crime, with increased security and the people that will be there from the police department, the sheriff's department, and obviously from the
casino itself. Yeah,
there's going to be so much security there; it's actually going to have the counterintuitive effect.
Well, that's good. I mean, I wonder, do you know if they're going to, have you heard from the owners of the dog track, if they're planning on using that large field out front of the dog track to maybe, build a new resort or anything like that? Are they looking at expanding?
Well, actually, right, as my best understanding is, it's a 99-acre parcel. And what they're looking at, if this goes through, is a 200,000 square foot clubhouse. Expanding by 200,000 square feet.
Wow.
Which will include a clubhouse, retail shops, offices, nightlife, and restaurant space.
You're not going to get rid of that. You're not going to get rid of that donut store on the corner, are you?
That donut store in the corner, I think they're hanging tough for now, but I might be wrong about that.
They could probably be bought pretty cheap right now.
Well, I'll say this, that's going to be a huge boom for Bonita Springs, because that area, it's been roughly the same for many years. So seeing a new, larger facility is going to be phenomenal for that part of town.
Well, like I said, it really is. It's small business, family business turned into larger business. It really is part of the American dream, and I do applaud the Habeneck family for what they're doing. Obviously, I support this passed 7-0, and the Bonita Springs City Council vote, and it's an issue that has been discussed, but we'll see on Tuesday. The vote is on Tuesday, so I would encourage people to get out and support this. Obviously, there's valid concerns on both sides, but I think really when you look at this, you'll come out in favor of it.
There's been
good business for the county and good business for Bonita Springs.
There's been one controversy, Peter, and I want to just touch on this and get your opinion on it real quick. And it may not actually be a controversy. It might just be people misunderstanding the way the referendum's written. But if the people vote yes on this to allow the dog track to have this gaming, does this limit and state for the record, for years going forward that no other slot machine gaming is allowed in Lee County?
That's not my understanding, but like I said, buddy, I am not the expert on this subject. But when you look at casino and gambling, and I look at it this way: people are, a lot of people enjoy that, and a lot of people will come to enjoy the entertainment, come to enjoy the restaurants, come to enjoy the shops, come to Bonita Springs to enjoy the races. Why would we want to deter them and say, no, you have to drive up to Tampa, or no, you have to go to Miami?
Sure. Well, I'm guessing that if another casino wants to pop up, they'd probably have to get their own referendum, and if they go through the same normal channels, then they could get their approval as well. Peter, we appreciate having you on, councilman for the city of Bonita Springs. Good luck with this issue on Tuesday, and hopefully things work out for us.
No, absolutely. Thank you very much. And I think, when you look at, I'll leave you with this quote by Izzy Haveneck from the family. I mean, he was quoted in the Naples Daily News on November 2nd as saying, "We plan on doing everything with locals." So for Lee County, for Bonita Springs, I see this as a win-win.
No outsourcing.
Thanks, Peter.
No outsourcing.
All right, take care, buddy. We appreciate it.
Folks, gentlemen, have a great day.
You too, bud. All right, for the folks on hold, if you want to hold through the break, we'll be right back after this hard break.
Find out where 96K Rock will be next. 96K Rock is constantly hitting the streets.
And you never know what you can win. Custom K-Rock t-shirts, concert tickets, sports tickets, and more.
Plus, you'll always get a cold 96K Rock custom labeled bottled water from Hoosier Wawa. To order, personal or business, 1 case minimum, call 403-WAWA.
For more information and to find out where we'll be next, visit 96krock.com.
Are you tired of the same old wasteful spending of our tax dollars? Are you tired of seeing large parts of our county undeveloped with no jobs for our communities? Are you tired of career politicians that promise to represent you and then turn their focus on special interest and the few? Then vote your conscience. Vote Matt Miller for Lee County Commissioner. I am Matt Miller, a fair and responsible choice.
Political party advertisement paid for and approved by Matt Miller, Independence Party, for Lee County Commissioner.
When it comes to landscaping, farming, or just cutting the grass, no one knows more than Matt Miller Tractor. They offer a huge selection of tractors and mowers for all your needs. Whether it's large commercial development or a small family project, they are your one-stop shop. Matt Miller Tractor is dedicated to providing their customers with the top-of-the-line products and services, all under one roof. Matt Miller takes great pride in his customer service, bringing top brands to you and offering best of industry warranties on all product lines. If you're looking for that one-of-a-kind make or model, they have all the top names: Snapper, Kohler, King Cutter, Briggs & Stratton, and more. Sale, service, repair, and maintenance for 20 years. Once you experience their down-home approach to business, you'll see why Matt Miller Tractor is second to none. They treat each customer like a neighbor, because that's what you are. Call Matt Miller Tractor at 239-693-0305. That's 239-693-0305. Or stop by the store at 7261 West State Road 80.
She thinks my tractor's sexy.
Honor, integrity, leadership. Cecil Pendergrass is a strong leader who will protect and serve Lee County citizens. Cecil is an experienced leader who will cut costs, work with business leaders to promote growth, and protect our community and environment. Vote for a real leader, Cecil Pendergrass, endorsed by the News Press and Naples Daily News. As a community leader, Cecil identified problems, found solutions, and made Lee County a better place to live. As a member of the commission, Cecil will build consensus and bring new jobs to Lee County.
I'm Cecil Pendergrass, and I approve this message.
I am Matt Miller. You are Matt Miller. We are Matt Miller. Vote for me November 6th. Or you can vote early at the Supervisor of Elections, downtown Fort Myers, so we can make a difference and restore fiscal responsibility and economic development to our area. I am a believer. I am your neighbor. I am you. I am Matt Miller, a fair and responsible choice.
Political party advertisement paid for and approved by Matt Miller, Independence Party, for Lee County Commissioner.
Shoot in the Shoot Straight Gun Range for their big sale, November 9th through the 11th. Get amazing deals on guns, ammo, accessories, and more. Smith & Wesson, Sig Sauer, Beretta, Ruger, Kimber, and more. Smith & Wesson Bodyguard, $380 for just $369. Smith & Wesson NP15 Sport, $649. 35% off American Security gun safes, ammo discounts, and get $25 off any annual memberships. Shoot Straight Gun Range on the corner of Colonial and Fowler and Fort Myers.
Oh, man. What happened last night?
What happened? The Sandy Parrot happened. Thursday, ladies drink free all night. Got cheap drinks for the guys, too. $1 drafts and $2 bottles. $5 Jaegers, $2.50 Captain and Bacardis, and live music from Under the Influence. The Myths this Friday playing 90s and today's rock. DJ Brian on Saturday, $2.50 Captain and Bacardis, $6 pitchers, $5 Jaeger bombs. DJ Gentry every Tuesday for $2 drink from 10 to 2. The Sandy Parrot on 41 south of Alico Road. Visit thesandyparrot.com or call 454-TIKI.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. With today's technology, work from home, and smartphones continue to become a staple for workers around the country. Employees today are more connected to their workplace, whether they want to be or not. Oftentimes, employers communicate with employees before or after scheduled working hours to perform work-related tasks such as reviewing documents, returning phone calls, or checking emails and devices. Many employers fail or refuse to pay their employees for this extra work incurred off the clock. Also, some employers are requiring employees to report to work early or to stay late to prepare reports, turn on and boot up computers, or have staff for client meetings that are off the clock and uncompensated. For answers to your overtime questions, visit forthepeople.com or call 1-800-MORGAN-LAW. At Morgan & Morgan, we represent consumers. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Offices, Fort Myers and Naples.
Monday on Fox 4 News at 10. Houses of worship under attack.
I actually have a friend who was killed in the pulpit.
Area pastors packing heat.
We have about 3 or 4 pastors at least that come here to shoot. I am an advocate of safety.
Protecting parishioners or going too far?
Monday on Fox 4 News at 10. What would you do with $500? Click for your chance to win $500 of free money. Just log on to the Fox 4 Facebook page and click like. It's the Crazy Cash Giveaway on Fox 4. One person will win $500 of free money every weekday. Watch Fox 4 News at 10 to see if your name is shown from a random drawing. It's that easy. Just click like. You could have $500 of free money. Free money. It's the Crazy Cash Giveaway only on Fox 4. Fox 4, the station that's in your corner, wants to thank you for being in ours. Thanks, Southwest Florida, for making Fox 4 News at 10 your #1 primetime newscast. From the huge studios, WRXK, Bonita Springs, Naples, Fort Myers, a Beasley Broadcast Group station, 96 K-Rock and 96KRock.com. Talk that rocks.
Get off the ledge! Get off the ledge! This country should have hell been going down the drain.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening.
Why should you want to know? Don't you mind about the future?
And now, live, unedited, unrehearsed, and unapologetic, brought to you by Duncan's Diamonds, your direct diamond importer. Straight off the ledge, it's JD and Smitty!
Hey.
Welcome to our special third hour of the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty on 96K Rock.
It's a special Extends.
Extends. We should get Extends to be our sponsor. Phone lines are open, 277-9600.
Extends program just for you.
Or if you're watching the live stream on the Ledge Cam, it's 239-775-9600. You can visit our website and blog at theledgeradioshow.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, iHeart, and 96krock.com. Smitty, I got your best buddy holding on line
That's
one.
Your buddy.
I got Militant Paul.
Go ahead.
Militant Paul from Gay Coral. You're on the Ledge Radio Show.
Hey, Paul, what's your gripe this week?
What's my gripe this week, other than you being a co-host of a radio show you have no business being a co-host of?
Yeah, what is it, Paul?
Well, first off, I want to let you know, Smitty, your job's safe because I'm moving out of Florida.
Yeah, I bet they chased you out, did they?
No, I'm just sick and tired of the K-Cool rules, regulations, the crooked politicians, the baloney laws that have been recently passed to silence people like myself from speaking out politically. I've had enough. I do want to say, as far as Peter Simmons, the only thing I've ever agreed with on Peter Simmons has been Trey Radel, but I have to admit today I side with Peter, and I can't believe I'm even saying this, but I side with him on the gaming thing in Bonita. I think it'd be good for the community, and I see it the way he sees it.
Be good for the economy, right?
In this world, I agree with Peter. Nothing else.
But I mean, so it'd be good for the economy. That's what I would say.
We need something more than just tourism in this part of Florida. And the Greyhound track's been there a long time. That family's willing to give a lot back to the community. We need people like that. I wish the Light brothers were more like that. But that's what we need.
Well, I agree. Amber doesn't necessarily agree.
The sheriff's office being apolitical. Yes, we choose a sheriff because we're the residents of this county, but the sheriff should get in the office and be apolitical. And yes, his budget is way overdue to be slashed.
Well, Paul, I'm sure I can speak for a lot of people in Southwest Florida. We're going to miss you like a rash you can't get rid of. So.
Oh, I'm sure. And JD, I'd appreciate it if sometime during the show maybe that you could touch on the new anti-stalking laws that have been passed here recently in Florida. Basically, a synopsis that JD was going over is that all it takes is basically 2 emails. If you so much as hurt somebody's feelings via email or in person, if you walk up to somebody in public.
How do you know so much about it, Paul?
So what?
How do you know so much about the non-stalking law?
Because I've got one against me.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, sir. I mean, I did not, by any stretch of the law, think that I was breaking any law when I walked up to a politician's relative and said, you know what, I don't like you.
Paul, that stuns me. I'm shocked to hear that you've got a non-stalking.
Sure, you know what, I'm very outspoken. I never once threatened this gentleman. You know, I'm an honest person. I'm a passionate political person.
I agree with that.
Paul, you are a lot of things. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I am passionate, but I've never threatened anybody. I've never threatened you, Smitty.
No, you haven't.
I've never threatened anybody in politics. I've been very passionate about what I believe in. At my age, I've come to understand how politics really work, and it's sad that the system can be used in such a way that they can, silence somebody this close to election by filing, restraining orders basically based on lies. You can put down anything you want on a piece of paper, even without any documentable facts, like, threatening emails or threatening phone calls or threatening voicemails. Nothing was given to the judge in my particular case, and I was issued a restraining order against me, which has now cost me $1,500 just to have a lawyer represent me.
You just got to be.
But I'm already on my way out of this county, largely due, in fact, to the way City Cape Coral has changed in the 22 years I've lived here.
What's good, Paul, is you can check it out on the web, www.theledgeradioshow.com, and watch stream live, and you can call in, Paul.
And harass you, Smitty.
You can call in all day and harass me.
So we're going to get.
You're nothing but good radio from me.
We're going to get Paul every Saturday from North Carolina. He's going to be checking in from North Carolina.
Tell us how to go with the boys up there. No mind that.
Yeah, and I'm working right now. I'm trying to be out live at the Redneck Yacht Club so I can say goodbye to all my friends.
Oh, sweet. All right, Paul. We appreciate the call, buddy. Take care, man.
Hey, take care, fellas.
All right, we've got special guests lined up on line 2. This is a friend of mine, Don Ward. Don is he knows a lot of things, man. Don is like a serial entrepreneur. He's opened like 630 businesses, done many good things. Don, we appreciate you coming to the show, buddy.
630.
Yeah, a lot of them. Yeah, Don, are you with us?
Here.
Yes. Oh, thank you. Where did we reach you today? Are you in Orlando today?
Today, I am in Georgetown, Delaware, of all places, close to the beach.
Holy cow!
I know where it's at.
Well, how's things looking up there? Did the storm affect Delaware at all?
A little bit.
Yeah, we were up here during it, and power went out for about an hour, but a lot of damage at the shore. Nothing like just north of there, though. We've got a lot of friends in New Jersey and New York, and some of them right now are in shelters.
Oh, really?
That's a big departure from a mansion.
That is true. Very true. Brings you back to reality, doesn't it?
A little humbling.
Yep. Well, that's part of the equation. You have understanding plus knowledge produces wisdom, but you forget that before the fruit of wisdom, that being honor and riches comes, there's also this other thing that comes, as usually humility.
That is true.
Before you make it back again, when you're making your comeback. So
very true. Well, Don, I appreciate you coming on with us today. I wanted to talk about obviously this is our last show before the election. When we reconvene next Saturday. One
of us will be a winner, one of us will be a loser.
Yeah, that's true. You and I, we've chatted many times in the past, and what's your perspective about, I guess, one, where this country has been heading? Where do you think the country needs to head? And in order to get the country to where it's going to go, what advice would you give to the residents who are voters?
Well, vote your conscience, I guess, would be one place to start. I mean, don't vote based upon the rhetoric. Somebody sent me an ad yesterday that's a new one And it's Obama back in 2008 and 2012. And it took all the sound bites of the 2008 campaign, and we looked, and there were the exact same sound bites in 2012. Nothing had changed. It was like, you'd say this, and then over here we saw the 2012 campaign section, said the same thing, and going, he's going to get reelected chances through the way things are looking. I mean, I'm personally believing that there's an undertow taking place in his campaign. And the undertow is when your base starts falling out from under you. And so I'm almost seeing that that's a very good likelihood, but I look at everything from a position of what if. What if this man continues? Today I was reading a really interesting piece concerning the Wanta Reagan-Mitterrand protocol funds. And that was something put together to save the world. And basically there's enough money in those funds. Forget about prosperity packages and world global settlements. I don't know if you guys are up on all that stuff.
Not as much as you.
Okay, well, I mean, there's 4 avenues right now that have all been held back by the Bush administration, the Clinton administration, the previous Bush administration, and the Obama administration. And so whether you go Republican or Democrat, both are, let's just say both are pretty much controlled by the banksters. So if you're taking that down, now you got to look and say, okay, what's the actual moral compass, behind where we're going to go with either party? Because both parties really want to keep us in slavery to some extent. One, I do believe, wants to create jobs and will have the ability through their philosophy. And the other one, we've got 4 years of looking at what's been created and not much. So it's, I'm more independent. I'm a conservative independent, but I have to look at the nuts and bolts and, analyze the numbers. And when you've got a president that's created more debt in 4 years than the last 12 presidents combined, you got to say, is the guy really going to change anything?
Or is he going to change anything for the better? That's the question.
Hey, Don, what's your thought on Citizens for America? Would you be for that or not?
We're talking about the restoration of the republic. Is that what you're talking about?
Talking about the corporations being able to just give massive amounts of money to.
He's talking about the super PACs
and
the Supreme Court
ruling it.
Siding on their side.
What do you think about that?
Well, somebody's got. I'll tell you what. The Republican Party has done a lousy job of creating ads. So if the super PACs can help them, craft their message as well as the Democrats, craft theirs.
Well, I'm not talking about the ads. I'm talking about the money being put in there. Are you for it or against it?
I believe that every company should push whatever they feel is going to help, move their company forward. So I'm not against it.
So you're for it? Yeah, that's the opposite of against it.
I haven't given that particular issue a lot of thought.
Really?
But I've owned a lot of companies, and in doing so, there were a lot of things that I supported. But I always supported things that either went with my conscience or I thought was going to help move the local economy forward.
What's your best business? You had 600 and some businesses. JD was telling me that's very impressive. Which one is the one that you find the most profitable?
You'll laugh. The most profitable was sun tanning salons.
Wow!
And I'm like, it wasn't in the early days, but when all the technology started changing, we were able to start charging $1 a minute. I mean, it started turning out to be a nice little deal.
Yeah,
for me,
that's true.
It was about creating an industry, because when I got into it, they had just made tanning booths illegal. Yeah, the old UVB booths. So when I got into it, the idea of something new coming along was like, what are you, nuts? And then when I decided I'm going to go to the beach and start this, people really thought I was nuts. But I won't get into that business. But I've been a part of a lot of things at E-Prime Aerospace, Diversity International Television Network. There's a ton of things that are about to really take over their respective industries. It's about, my thing is always birthing things. I love to birth stuff.
Well, Don, one thing, I want to touch base, on Smitty's comment about the citizens. What's it called? Citizens
United.
United. The issue with that is, and one thing that he doesn't realize is that super PACs gave money to Obama too,
Absolutely.
I mean, so it wasn't just one-sided. The law didn't say only Republican super PACs can get money from businesses.
But the Republicans primarily benefited from it.
Well, Obama said he wasn't for it, and then as soon as it was approved, he jumped on the bandwagon and took as much money. Obama didn't need it because he had no choice. No, he had stimulus money to steal to use.
When the other guys are ponying up to all the money guys over there, all the PACs that they don't have to report, and all the Adelsons and all that money, you have no choice but to play hardball. So it's not his fault because he's playing fair now because you guys started it.
But let's go somewhere that's off of this path, because we have to look at what people do more than what they say. And with Obama, do you notice how uncomfortable he got during the debate when Romney starts to say, "And what about the trust that you have in the Cayman Islands? And what about?" And all of a sudden, Obama wanted to change the subject.
That's true.
Obama's got far more wealth than Romney right now, but most of the world doesn't know it. And the question is, how did he get it? Because the man never had a real job.
I don't believe that for nothing. Ain't no way in the world you're going to convince me, a smart, intelligent man than you are. You're going to tell me Obama's richer than Mitt Romney? You are smoking crack.
By far.
You're smoking crack.
$2 billion in a Vatican bank account, and I know because I do business with the guy that smelts all the gold for the Vatican. So where did the $2 billion come from? Let me give you a clue where it came from.
Tell me.
And okay, one of the things that you have to consider is both men, Romney and Obama, took bribes, large bribes. Okay, and so I'm going to use the word "what if" in both cases, so that there's fairness, and I'm going to say allegedly in both cases, and let you guys do your own homework because it's everywhere. It's so obvious, but the media won't cover it. You have Romney took a $200 million bribe to stay out and not be a witness concerning the Ed Falcone and the Michael Herzog scenario where the Bushes basically committed major fraud. Then you've got Obama allegedly took a $900 million bribe to keep his mouth shut and not testify either. And both parties knew all about it. Now, Romney is secretly behind the scenes said he would rather return the money. But I happen to know that there is a whole lot more wealth in the hands of our president than you think. And you have to go back to when the original 9/11 took place. The king of Saudi Arabia said, "We will have a Muslim in the White House by 2008. Well, guess what? That's what we have. That's what we got. There is no doubt about it. And using Obama's own words, there's plenty of videotape showing who he really is and what he really believes. And what's the most precious thing to him is hearing the certain types of prayers said in the morning. But, it goes on and on.
Are you a birther, too?
I'm sorry?
Do you believe in the birthing thing, the birther? Are you a birther?
A birther?
Yeah, it means that you believe that he was born out of the country because of the Muslim thing?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you go to Kenya, there's signs all over saying home of,
so you are a birther.
Well, Smitty likes to use these labels to try to take any type of factual.
I'm asking him. It's a term that everybody's been using. It's a
derogatory term that's been used by the left only.
No, everybody uses it. I hear it on Fox all the time. Donald Trump uses it. Everybody uses it. Don't say it's the left.
It's derogatory.
It's not derogatory. I'm asking him.
It was made in the left.
That's what they call it.
Teabagger. It's like calling us teabaggers. I mean,
that's a nice word too.
Exactly.
All of a sudden, we're thin-skinned over there. Okay.
No, it's not about being thin-skinned. It's about having respect.
Please, guys, please, spare me the tears.
I don't really care. It's like.
Did I hurt your feelings, Don? Did I hurt your feelings?
Please.
Thank you.
Don, what do you say to all those out there that, since you're a very successful man, that say, well, the only reason you're voting for Romney is because you are successful and you're voting for the wealth? I mean, what do you say to those people?
What I say to those people is that presently I'm in transition, and I'm probably in the worst condition of my life in spite of all my successes. And it all started, let's just call it coincidence, it all started around 2009. And it started with, things that you can't blame Obama for what took place with the mortgage-backed situation. So you can't point to that and say that's all the properties that were lost, because now what I actually do is I've learned the hard way. It's good to go through losses because it forces you to learn a lot of stuff you never would have had to. Right now, I can teach anybody how to win every foreclosure case. Every. I'm not saying some of them.
Wow.
Every foreclosure case. And so I can take anyone that lost their home already. Now, you have to go through this stuff in order to get the passion developed to say, I want to help other people come through what I'm coming out of.
Well, that's very true.
One of the things,
very true.
You got to go through this stuff or you just won't have a heart for it. So, but there is nobody who's lost their home in a foreclosure that we can't get their house back for them because there's no statute of limitations on fraud. So there's one of my passions. Right now I'm having fun beating the banks every time.
Well, that's excellent.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that'd be a great position to be in.
There's multiple ways to do it, and EFT debt discharge is great. This country itself could wipe out its entire debt by the president signing a discharge notice, because this company, that's what it is. You know that the United States Corporation has been in bankruptcy since 1933. All the president has to do is sign it, and it's over. There is no debt.
So why do you think they haven't?
The Reagan-Mitterrand funds, the Wanta Reagan-Mitterrand protocol funds that were released on October 31st, just 2 days ago, they're being held up right now. But you know that within 60 days of their being released, there is no deficit, there is no budget deficit. We have no debt. It's all wiped out, and we actually get $1.5 trillion in addition restored to the U.S. Treasury. Go Google that one.
Hey, Don, Amber was just asking a question, and I want to preface this question. She said, "Well, why wouldn't the president do that?" And you and I chatted the other day, and you kind of gave a startling reason as to why it's not been done, and you mentioned a few presidents that may have tried to do that in the past and the outcomes. Why don't you, before we go to our hard break and have to let you go, please take us through that real quick and educate these listeners.
Okay, the U.S. Treasury notes, they don't have to be backed by anything but the confidence in our country, right? So we don't use U.S. Treasury notes now, but when Garfield did, he wiped out the deficit, and we started to be in a surplus. When Jackson did, same thing. When Lincoln was being challenged by the banksters, and don't think for a second that the Civil War had anything to do with the Emancipation Act. That didn't happen until 1863, so the time sequence doesn't work. It had to do with annexing land to back and collateralize the new currency, because every 70 years we have a new currency. Well, right now we're about 12, 13 years overdue, but that's what's going on right now. And so we're about to see a new currency. I predict by January 1, U.S. Treasury notes will replace Federal Reserve notes. But all four of those presidents, and then Kennedy started talking about doing it. Guess what? They all got a bullet to the head.
Yeah, that's right. Because Kennedy was talking about doing something with the Federal Reserve or
paying off the debt. What he wanted to do?
Yeah, paying off the debt. That's what it was. Yeah, not the Reserve. Yeah, but paying off the debt.
I'm sorry. Our contract expires December 31st for the Federal Reserve.
Thank goodness.
It's a very new game that's about to take place. I teach a lot on what's going on in the currency world, the global reset about to take place, and it's a lot of fun. But both parties are at fault. Both parties have perpetuated our debt because it's the only way that the fiat money system has to be supported by debt. The only reason we went to Iraq the first time was because Saddam said he's going to start using other currencies and gold for oil sales. And why do you think we're doing the same thing to Iran right now? It has nothing to do with nuclear weapons. It has to do with their breaking away, because the BRICS, which is basically Brazil, Russia, India, Indonesia, and South Africa, and Canada, China, I'm sorry, those countries are now trading with Iran in exchange for gold, renminbi, and it's pretty wild.
Hey, Don,
the balance of power.
Hey, we're coming up on a real hard break, buddy.
I wanted to ask him a question.
I know. Well, what we'll do is we'll get Don back on another time, maybe even next week. I'll get with you, Don. We'll set something up.
Shoot me an email, man. Shoot me an email.
We appreciate you being on the show with us, my friend. We're going to go to a hard break, and we'll talk to you real soon.
Thanks for coming on, buddy.
Fun. Thanks. Honored.
Weekends. Picture me. Tiny bikini, straps undone, ice cold beer in hand, and blaring the best damn classic rock, period. Every weekend on 96K Rock, we shut up and rock. Led Zeppelin, AC/DC, ZZ Top, Leonard Skinner, Aerosmith, GNR, Bon Jovi. If it makes my ass shake and makes my beer taste better, we play it. All attitude, all the time. 96K Rock weekends, rock.
I am Matt Miller. You are Matt Miller. We are Matt Miller. Vote for me November 6th. Or you can vote early at the Supervisor of Elections, downtown Fort Myers, so we can make a difference and restore fiscal responsibility and economic development to our area. I am a believer. I am your neighbor. I am you. I am Matt Miller, a fair and responsible choice.
Political party advertisement paid for and approved by Matt Miller, Independence Party, for Lee County Commissioner.
When it comes to landscaping, farming, or just cutting the grass, no one knows more than Matt Miller Tractor. They offer a huge selection of tractors and mowers for all your needs. Whether it's large commercial development or a small family project, they are your one-stop shop. Matt Miller Tractor is dedicated to providing their customers with the top-of-the-line products and services, all under one roof. Matt Miller takes great pride in his customer service, bringing top brands to you and offering best-of-industry warranties on all product lines. If you're looking for that one-of-a-kind make or model, they have all the top names: Snapper, Kohler, King Cutter, Briggs & Stratton, and more. Sale, service, repair, and maintenance for 20 years. Once you experience their down-home approach to business, you'll see why Matt Miller Tractor is second to none. They treat each customer like a neighbor, because that's what you are. Call Matt Miller Tractor at 239-693-0305. That's 239-693-0305. Or stop by the store at 7261 West State Road 80.
She thinks my tractor's sexy.
Honor, integrity, leadership. Cecil Pendergrass is a strong leader who will protect and serve Lee County citizens. Cecil is an experienced leader who will cut costs, work with business leaders to promote growth, and protect our community and environment. Vote for a real leader, Cecil Pendergrass, endorsed by the News Press and Naples Daily News. As a community leader, Cecil identified problems, found solutions, and made Lee County a better place to live. As a member of the commission, Cecil will build consensus and bring new jobs to Lee County.
I'm Cecil Pendergrass, and I approve this message.
Are you a man over 40? Are you feeling tired more often? Is your strength decreasing and your waistline increasing? Have you lost some of that sex drive you had in your 20s and 30s? If so, chances are your symptoms are a direct result of low testosterone. Male testosterone levels begin to decline in your 30s and diminish at a constant rate as you get older. Hi, this is Dave Cuff from Max Muscle, and I'm here to help. At Max Muscle, we have a product called 2TX. 2TX has two patented powerful ingredients that have been shown in human clinical trials to increase free testosterone levels by 98%, increase muscle mass, reduce abdominal fat, and increase libido and overall energy levels. I can tell you firsthand, the stuff works. So what are you waiting for? Pick it up today at Max Muscle.
Max Muscle Sports Nutrition, US 41 just north of College Parkway in Fort Myers. Call 239-274-0045.
This is Dave Cuff from Max Muscle, and I want you to stop putting off feeling good.
Shoot in the Shoot Straight Gun Range for their big sale, November 9th through the 11th. Get amazing deals on guns, ammo, accessories, and more. Smith & Wesson, Sig Sauer, Beretta, Ruger, Kimber, and more. Smith & Wesson Bodyguard, $380 for just $369. Smith & Wesson MP15 Sport, $649. 35% off American Security gun safes, ammo discounts, and get $25 off annual memberships. Shoot Straight Gun Range on the corner of Colonial and Fowler and Fort Myers.
Oh, man. What happened last night?
What happened? The Sandy Parrot happened. Thursday, ladies drink free all night. Got cheap drinks for the guys too. $1 drafts and $2 bottles. $5 Jaegers, $2.50 Captain and Bacardis, and live music from Under the Influence. The Myths this Friday playing 90s and today's rock. DJ Brian on Saturday, $2.50 Captain and Bacardis, $6 pitchers, $5 Jaeger bombs. DJ Gentry every Tuesday for $2 drink from 10 to 2. The Sandy Parrot on 41 south of Alico Road. Visit thesandyparrot.com or call 454-TIKI.
With an industry-leading distribution network, Grainger can save you tons of downtime by offering over 900,000 products, many ready to ship right when you need them. In fact, 99% of items ordered ship same day. So fast, the International Acronym Committee is considering changing ASAP to ASAG for as soon as Grainger. At least they would be considering it if there were such a committee. To help keep your business running efficiently, call clickgrainger.com or stop by a branch today. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Ally Bank. Why they don't hide things in the fine print. That'll be $34.50.
I think the ad says it's half off.
If you look closely, it says only on Tuesdays.
It is Tuesday.
In October.
It is October.
During leap years.
This is a leap year.
After the first frost.
Oh, please.
Nobody likes when things are hidden in fine print. That's why Ally doesn't do it. Ally Bank. Your money needs an ally. Member FDIC.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Now back to the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty on 96 K-Rock.
Welcome back. Phone lines are open. The numbers are 239-277-9600 or 775-9600. You can check out our live stream at theledgeradioshow.com. You can also find us at facebook.com/The Ledge Radio Show. Smitty and Amber are always, well, Smitty's always with us. Amber's with us today. We appreciate that. And we've got a special guest that's on the phone with us right now. We've got U.S. Congressional Republican nominee Trey Radel. Trey, you're on the Ledge Radio Show.
Hey, it's great to be with you guys. How you doing?
Good, man. How'd the Swamp Buggy Parade go?
It was great. Good turnout. Beautiful weather. Another day in paradise here.
That's true, man. It's always paradise down here, especially when it's not, especially when we don't have a hurricane and it's not raining.
Looks like you're about to finish the race, man. Looks like you're the favorite son so far.
Well, yeah, we're running like we're 20 points behind, but we're looking strong going in. But what's so important is that here in Southwest Florida, that we rally our base. Yes, I'm doing everything I can to earn people's votes, and that includes Republicans, Independents, and Democrats, but we've got to rally the base to get out to the polls to vote for Mitt Romney and Connie Mack and local conservatives as well. And if we do that, I think we can deliver Mitt Romney's Florida right to him. I think we're going to be good.
Well, that is true, and it's something you mentioned on there when you mentioned Connie Mack. The bottom line is, even if Mitt Romney gets in, but if we don't seal up the Senate, I mean, we could be looking at more gridlock like we have now. So Republicans around the country, Republicans, Democrats, Independents, everybody, if you want something to go through, you've got to think about it and think about who you're voting for. And then when it comes to the Republicans ourselves, we definitely do need the Senate on board. Otherwise, I guess we could try to play some of the games that Obama's done and just ram stuff through or use executive order to do an end run around Congress. But that we definitely need guys like Connie Mack to get in so we can seal up the Senate.
I agree, and the kind of joke to the way that the Obama administration and the Democrats in the Senate have kept playing the past couple of years is that the Republican Party is the party of no, that it's all the House's fault, that the House of Representatives are not doing anything. Here's a reality check for people like President Obama and Harry Reid and people listening who are only kind of half paying attention here and there. The reality is that the Republicans in the House are the only ones proposing budgets. They're the only ones proposing ideas, for example, the Ryan budget, to tackle the issues that we have in terms of spending. That's it. That's the only people doing anything and moving anything, but it's in the Senate where everything's getting stalled and where the true gridlock is coming from. And it's Harry Reid. And when you go to the Senate, even people like Senator Marco Rubio, our senator from our great state, have proposed legislation with Democrats to try and get the economy back on track. Harry Reid won't even let that out of committee. So if we can take the Senate, we take the White House, I think that we're going to get this economy back on track. We get the economy back on track. We're going to get the budget back on track, and then we can begin to chip away at this debt that we have hanging over our heads.
Well, something that's startling to me, and I've never seen this before. I'm 36 years old, and I've never seen the leader of the Senate on almost every bill that comes to him from Congress. I've never seen them literally say, no, we're not going to vote on this. Not only are we not going to vote, we might just walk out, but we're not going to take the bill even for a vote. In the past, even when Tip O'Neill was in, you got Ronald Reagan, you got Tip O'Neill, they had to work together. At least they could vote no if they don't like it. But why would Harry Reid not even accept the bill to vote no on it if he didn't like it? And I know why, and I think you know why too. And tell me if you agree with me. If they vote no, it shows the public, it shows Americans that they voted no for a good bill.
It shows where the true party of no is, and that's
true.
And you know what? I'd even say this, that it's not strictly Democrats. It's Harry Reid in particular, overseeing the Senate, but there are Democrats out there who are willing to work with Republicans. I brought up the example of the legislation that Senator Rubio proposed, and it was called the Agree Act, which says all these kind of, I don't want to get too wonky or dorky here, but all these kind of things.
Tough for you.
Repeal parts of Sarbanes-Oxley, give more incentives, tax write-offs for small businesses and whatnot. And he co-sponsored that with Chris Coons out of Delaware. And so you've got a Democrat and Republican working together. You've got Republicans like Bill Manchin in West Virginia who are willing to work with Republicans. And yes, I'll even use the so-called 30-word compromise. And these men and women are working, they're compromising, but it's Reed that won't take that vote because he doesn't want to. He doesn't want them to be labeled the party, And he just, quite frankly, doesn't want to show that his Democrats are not with him and his agenda, and the Obama agenda at the end of the day.
Well, I would agree. Smitty, you got any last words for Trey before we let him go?
Congratulations. I mean, I know you didn't win yet, but you certainly are leading the pack, and you've worked extremely hard. You've really gone out there and networked with everybody, and I've gone to several of your speeches, and I don't agree with everything you say, but I have to give you credit. You're touching base with everybody, and I think what you're really saying is something that I've noticed that Mitt has really done. He's starting to come back to the center a little more, and that's when he started to gain more popularity. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, look, the center, I don't know. Mitt Romney, I do think there have been some areas where I will openly say where he has done a little bit of contradicting a little here and there, and I'd like a little clarity of that. What's imperative is that we in the House hold the White House's feet to the fire as well as the Senate, because, look, Smitty, I am a conservative through and through. I am absolutely willing to work with Democrats, to work with independents, and ultimately try and earn their vote, too. And I think that there are areas that we can. I'll go right back to it, that Rubio-Coons piece of legislation, which moves beyond all of these ridiculous things that you hear in the media these days. You talk about Medicare where you hate old people is what the Democrats will tell the Republicans. You talk about sealing the border, well, you're racist. No, I'm not any of those things, and I don't hate anybody. Our problems are numbers. And if we can work together on simple math and tackling those numbers, I think that we've got a heck of a future ahead of us. And I think that both parties can, in fact, work together doing just that.
Well, we know they can because we've seen it happen before. We've got to get the right people in place to make this happen. We've got to get Harry Reid out of the position he's in so that the Senate can at least vote on the bills. Whether they like the bill or not, they can vote yes or no. They can vote their conscience. They can vote for their constituents. And we hope that by sending you to Congress, that you can support the people of Southwest Florida like you've been talking about, like you did in your with your business life, with your radio life, your TV life. We know where you stand, and we hope you fight hard for us. And I personally believe you will. So Trey, we really appreciate everything you've done. We wish you luck on Tuesday, November 6th. And for the voters that are out there today, you can still do early voting today. Vote your conscience, and I think things will be great for us.
Well, thank you, guys. Thank you for the opportunity. And look, our problems here in Southwest Florida are a microcosm of everything that's wrong in the United States. And I will do everything I can to get government out of the way where it doesn't need to be, where it's screwed up the free markets, to allow us to clear out this glut of foreclosures in terms of real estate, to again work, yes, even with Democrats on simple math and pieces of legislation that make sense for the business community, to allow our entrepreneurs and small businesses, which really are the backbone here in Southwest Florida, to get back on track and, really just get back to what they want to do instead of all the guessing with, what's the fiscal cliff going to be? What's the tax code going to be? What's Obamacare going to do? Let's just give people some certainty and stability so we can go back to it without sounding like a hip-hop artist here, go back to making some money, because that's what we want to do. We want jobs and paychecks.
All right, Trey, we appreciate it, buddy.
Sounds like he's going to be for the gambling hall down there at the racetrack.
Well, Trey, we appreciate your time today. Good luck, and
I really appreciate it. You guys keep up the great work, a great election special here. Everybody getting their voice in, and if you could visit TreyRadel.com or give us a call. The line's always open, and thank you all so much. I love this community, and it's great working with you guys on the show, and I look forward to seeing y'all soon.
Good luck. Thanks, buddy. Good luck. All right, everybody. I've got a caller on hold. That is he still on there, Sick Rick? All right. Looks like we've got Robert Jenkins on line 2. He's been holding for a long time. He's called in a few times. We've been really busy. Robert, you're on the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty.
Hey, how you doing? Yeah, I'm a Republican. Been since I moved here in '87. And I was really confused as to why Governor Scott wouldn't extend the early voting hours. I was shocked by that. And to give you an example of it, myself and my son and 3 of our body are all veterans, and 4 out of the 5 of us are disabled through our service. And we're waiting to the very last minute to vote. And that right there made me not vote Republican.
Yeah.
Because I don't understand, and he would have to be a coward. My son, Tony, Brett, everybody was serving in Afghanistan and Iraq to give these people the right to vote or give them a free and fair election, and we're trying to stop it here in our own country. I don't understand that. That's troubling.
Are you're referring to Governor Rick Scott for stopping early voting?
No, for not extending it at the request.
Well, for not extending it at a request. Well, I think it runs from Saturday to Saturday. It's about, 8 days worth. I mean, how much more do you need?
Well, they said they wanted one more day, and then, like I said, one more day, and it's going to say no.
Well, I can see your point. I mean, I do realize though that the early voting, that it has to stop at a certain point so they can get those votes sent to where they've got to be sent for, so they're counted and tabulated. And
I worked 14 elections. They're optical scan now.
Yeah.
How long it takes to scan the thing? 3 seconds.
I agree. Well, I can understand that. I mean, Rick Scott obviously is not up for election this term, but you can voice your concern at the next election for him, which is in 2 years from now.
A bunch of them will, but like I said, and the other thing that troubled me about this, I still don't know where Mitt Romney stands on taxes, except he wants to cut a bunch of taxes, raise a bunch of money for the Defense Department that we really don't want. But,
I got you.
It's just ridiculous.
You're not alone, man. You're not alone.
Well,
if there's anything to say to get elected, which crowd he's at,
sure,
that's what he'll talk to.
Well, and that's typical for big politicians. I mean, as well as we do. A lot of times you hear politicians say one thing and they do the next.
Oh, you're right. And like I said, and that's why we should hold people accountable as far as the gridlock in Congress, the record number of filibusters. You got to go one way or the other massively to shock the politicians, saying you are completely and totally out of power. You have no power. So now we wait for 2 years, and if you guys behave, we'll let you back in.
Power to the people,
agree, man.
Power to the people.
Hey, Robert, thanks for calling, buddy. We're on a hard break.
Thanks for calling.
We'll catch you in a few moments.
Listen in next week.
You never know what we're going to say or do. Take 96K-Rock wherever you go with the iRadio Now app.
iRadio Now.
Available for free on all smartphones, including Android. The biggest personalities in radio entertainment. Available on one app.
iRadio Now.
The iRadio Now app for all smartphones.
Just go to the App Store and search iRadio Now. And download it for free.
Brought to you by Jason and Todd at the Diamond District, Coconut Point.
Visit 96krock.com for more information.
iRadio Now.
96K-Rock.
Hi, I'm Matt Miller. Would you like to help to restore the American dream, own a home, and be able to provide for your family? Then vote for me so we can make a difference. Restore our economic future. Vote Matt Miller, November 6th. Let's take back our country. I am Matt Miller, a fair and responsible choice.
Political party advertisement paid for and approved by Matt Miller, Independence Party, for Lee County Commissioner.
Southwest Florida knows that Duncan's Diamonds has the best prices, but it's their quality, selection, and excellent customer service that keeps customers coming back year after year. And Duncan's Diamonds customers have great things to say.
Their sales team is extremely helpful and knowledgeable.
I've shopped at other jewelry stores, but there's no place like Duncan's Diamonds. And I tell all my friends to come here every chance I get.
At Duncan's Diamonds, I found everything I was looking for. Great designers. I was awfully impressed with their Hearts on Fire diamonds and jewelry. They're really amazing.
The customer service is excellent. You're free to take your time and browse without being hassled, and all your questions are answered.
I've been to every chain jewelry store, department store, and independently owned stores. None of them beat Duncan's Diamonds prices. They are the best.
I had some jewelry to sell, and by far, Duncan's Diamonds paid me the most cash and paid on the spot.
Duncan's Diamonds puts your mind at ease. Best quality at the best price.
Discover Duncan's Diamonds, Fort Myers on US 41, and in the Gulf Coast Town Center, where you'll find the largest selection at the best prices in Southwest Florida.
When you open a checking account, it all seems clear and straightforward. But after a while, things start to elephant sliding down a ramp slicked with peanut butter laced with goat hoof. And that's usually when it stops making sense, and half the chicken coop roosts during ping-pong France, and you end up angry and confused. But at Fifth Third Bank, we listened when you said you didn't want that. So we made our 5 new checking accounts straightforward and easy to understand. Visit 53.com/checking to find one that's right for you. Fifth Third Bank, the curious bank. $50 minimum deposit required to open all accounts. Fifth Third Bank, member FDIC. Before designing our new line of checking accounts at Fifth Third Bank, we talked to thousands of people to better understand their needs. We talked to farmers, 80s movie soundtrack composers, professional duck callers, tennis players who grunt. We even talked to ocelot trainers. Listening helped us create 5 new checking solutions. Visit 53.com/checking to find the right one for you. Fifth Third Bank, the curious bank. $50 minimum deposit required to open all accounts. Fifth Third Bank, member FDIC.
When your family goes through drastic changes, it's important to have an attorney who understands your legal rights. I'm Mike Chinopoulos of Absolute Law in Fort Myers, and I have experience in a wide range of family law matters. Maybe you have questions about divorce, custody, visitation rights, paternity, or child support. I can help. Call Absolute Law at 239-349-8010. As an experienced attorney and former judge, I will be your advocate. I can explain your options every step of the way. Now, more than ever, you want to make sure you're doing the right thing for you and for your family. And at Absolute Law will aggressively represent your interest. So let's sit down and talk. Call today for a free consultation. 239-349-8010. Remember, when you have questions concerning family law, Absolute Law can help. Call me, Mike Chinopoulos, at Absolute Law, 239-349-8010. That's 349-8010, or find us online at absolutelaw.net. Absolute Law, a law firm you can trust. Absolutely.
Life's short, eat dessert first. Royal Scoop homemade ice cream.
Ice cream, ice cream.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm just trying to get more people to enjoy Royal Scoop homemade ice cream.
That place is awesome. You know they make all their ice cream right there, fresh, every day.
I love their turtle sundaes. Rich hot fudge, creamy caramel, salted and roasted pecans, all on top of that award-winning vanilla ice cream. Yummy.
When it's this hot, I love their delicious hand-dipped milkshakes and their thick, rich malts. Did you know they also have over 25 fantastic lunch options?
No, I didn't know they did lunch.
Oh, yeah. They were voted the best place for soup and sandwich in the News Press Readers Poll. Join me for lunch, and that way we'll be in the perfect place for dessert.
That's a deal. Let's go.
Royal Scoop Homemade Ice Cream is located 8 blocks south of Bonita Beach Road off Vanderbilt Drive, serving up the area's best homemade ice cream since 1979, because quality never goes out of style.
Life's short. Eat dessert first. Royal Scoop homemade ice cream. Unfiltered, unbridled opinions and giving Southwest Florida a voice. It's the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty on 96 K-Rock. Talk that rocks. Talk that rocks.
Welcome back. Phone lines are open. The numbers are 239-277-9600 or 775-9600. Check out our live stream at theledgeradioshow.com. You can find us on facebook.com/The Ledge Radio Show. Smitty, I know we've got a few more callers to get through, and
hang on there, guys.
What's the deal? I wanted to get into that union stuff, but
we got a caller for Mr. Kiker.
I know. Yeah, we've got Larry Kiker on right now, and I don't know if it's line 1 or line 3. I'm waiting on my boy over here to tell me, but line 1. All right, we got Larry Kiker running for County Commission District 3, Lee County. Larry, thanks for being on the Ledge Radio Show.
Good afternoon. How you guys doing?
Very good, thank you. How's things going with you?
Well, doing really good. Looks like a busy day for you guys with the last show before the election.
Yeah, no kidding. It's been hectic. We've only got 3 hours. We probably need 4 or 5 to get through everything.
You feeling lucky, Larry?
You know what? I am working harder than I've ever have, and you know what they say: when you run a 100-yard race, you run 110.
That's true. You run full speed all the way to the end.
That's right. So we're in gear.
What now? You've got obviously we got the final day of voting on Tuesday. Today is the last day for early voting, and District 3. What is District 3 for the folks that live in that area? What's the area, the land mass that it encompasses?
Actually, it's quite large, but so is Lee County. But if you start at the Iona area and go straight across to the Estero area, and then just keep going south all the way into Collier County. So that includes Fort Myers Beach, includes Bonita Springs as well.
Okay.
That's a big area.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, it's been a few months since the primary, but you ran against Ray Judah in the primary, correct?
I did.
And you that was quite the landslide, wasn't it?
Well, I'll tell you what, it was a pleasant surprise, and one of the things that we did from the very beginning is we identified 2 or 3 things that we thought this county needed to focus on, and we have stayed consistent all the way through. We haven't changed our message one time. And I believe that whenever you start looking at the budget and that we're overspending, you look at tourism, we need to get back to basics, and then let's not forget we've got about 47,000 people that aren't working or underemployed. And I think that's probably enough right there to keep somebody busy.
No, that's true. I mean, so you're looking at fiscal conservatism, the budget for Lee County. What's your take on this MedStar issue? You know, we talked a little bit earlier with Matt Miller, who's running for District 5, about it. What do you know about this MedStar thing, and is that something that when or if you get elected, that you can help curtail and maybe head stuff like that off at the pass before it happens?
Well, actually, I think that you just said the right thing is we need to be able to identify these kinds of projects before they happen, and we need to make people comfortable enough that they're willing to come forward with it when there's something wrong. But this MedStar, you can't say enough bad things about the way it's been handled. And, but on the flip side of it, I think there's things that we can do, privatize it perhaps. One of the things that I have been looking to do, and I talked to Chef Mike Scott about it, is that they're in the emergency business, and I don't know why they don't take that function and put it all under one place under the county rather than two different places. Seems to me like it's pretty redundant how much money we have to spend.
So you thinking of moving MedStar to either maybe the fire department side or the sheriff's department side, to have it ran by the folks that use the system, that use the service, because typically when you see MedStar, it's maybe a real bad car accident, something like that. So maybe having it under the direction of the folks that would call them to come in to take care of the wounded person. You think that's a better place for it to be handled out of?
Well, yeah, I think, what we need to do is look at just plain old common sense chances to improve our services. One thing that, you and I both know, if somebody gets in a serious accident, we want someone to be able to fly them, to a place for assistance. But, when you're looking at 2 or 3 different organizations all getting the same phone call and all showing up at the same place, I'm going to have to ask about the common sense piece of it. I'm not sure that fits into that category. But, if you look at that, you look at VR Labs, which I think is just beginning. There's going to be let's call it opportunity, if you will, but there's $5 million that's gone out of our coffers right now. And now we're going to go back and find out, should we have given that $5 million up? I think that's the cart before the horse. So that's what I'm talking about.
Well, we can appreciate that. We're really hopeful that with some of the new blood that looks like might be making it into the county commission, that some changes can be made away from some of the old good old boy system, and maybe we can bring some experience and expertise into this into the county commission of people that know how to run businesses, or people that just have a different direction to take us in. Trimming the budget, getting Lee County back back in the black, back where they need to be when it comes to money.
Well, and I agree with you. I've got 35 years experience in business. I own a small business right now. I was an elected public official for 6 years, 5 years as mayor, and we were able to balance during the same time period. And right now they're spending $30 million every year that we don't have, and they're planning on doing it this year. And I know when you run in a business, you cannot do that very long, and even at the county level, we cannot do it very long.
No, eventually you hit that wall, and the money train runs dry. And hopefully if you get in, and I'm speaking for myself as a Republican, if you get in, you can help curtail some of those excess spendings. And we really appreciate you coming on the show with us this morning, and we wish you good luck on Tuesday the 6th.
Well, thank you very much, and I enjoy your show. Thanks
All right,
for having me.
Thanks a lot. That was Larry Kiker, everybody, District 3, Lee County Commission. I want to get to a caller that's been on hold for a little while. We've got Tom from Tampa on line 3. It looks like Tom, are you with us?
Yeah.
All right, buddy. What you got for us today?
Hey, I just want to tell the Christians, my fellow Christians, that Romney is not a Christian as we are. They don't believe in JC is our savior, and he's a Mormon Christian, which is a big difference. And it's not fair to go around saying he's a Christian. What they want, their number one agenda is to get polygamy back. That's the true Mormon Christians want.
Mormon Christians? I didn't even know that was a term. I thought it was either Mormon or Christian.
Well, he's a bishop in the Mormon Christian Church. That's what they call it now.
The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, right?
Yeah, but their Jesus Christ is not the same as my Jesus Christ.
I gotcha.
Their Savior, they say that Jesus Christ is not the Savior, but Brigham Young is Savior. And Brigham Young is the Son of God.
Okay, what do you think about black liberation theology? Or the Muslim religion?
Liberation, I don't know about that.
Well, I mean, you should probably check it out, because that's the church that Barack Obama sat in for 20 years. It's called Black Liberation.
I'm talking about Romney here. Barack Obama's a true Christian.
Oh, he is?
When he says he's a Christian, you have to be a Mormon, and then you have to become a Christian.
Hey, Tom, you just told me you don't know what black liberation theology is. That's the type of church that Barack Obama sat in for 20 years.
He's a Christian.
It's rooted in Marxism.
It's true. They believe in Jesus Christ. These people, the Mormons don't believe in Jesus Christ.
They believe in you become your own God in another planet. The Mormons do.
So you're voting. You're voting against.
Jesus Christ came to Earth. So you got to know. You got to read about the.
Oh, I'm well versed on it, and so what I can see from you is with your tolerant views, then you're going to vote against Romney because he's a Mormon, but you're going to vote for Obama because you believe the black liberation theology is Christianity.
Yeah, very good Christian, but Romney is. He doesn't believe in Jesus Christ.
Okay, well, we appreciate your take on the Mormon religion, Tom. Thanks a lot.
It's interesting. The Mormon religion is very interesting. If you go to Google and look at it, it's very strange. Yeah.
When was the last time a Mormon drove his plane into a building and killed 3,000 civilians?
Never.
Huh. Okay.
I don't know anybody that claimed they did.
I wasn't sure. Well, because when was the last time you heard of a Mormon going and open up, strapping a bomb to their vest and killing a bunch of innocents in a bus?
No, I don't
Never,
remember.
right?
I don't remember.
So just
in the name of polygamy.
Yeah, in the name of polygamy, so they can have sex with a couple wives, right?
Yeah, that's their claim to fame.
That's Bill Clinton's
religion. So the Mormons are so bad that they believe in things like being a pacifist and not fighting and no wars. Well, let's leave on that turn right there. We're giving the sign that we're being pulled.
Go vote.
Go vote November 6th on Tuesday. Good luck, everybody. We'll be back next week.